The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he may take Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Come on, you, get this. Hey, come on, get now. Hey, come on, you. Come on, come on, you.
How's it going, Grandpa?
Oh, it ain't. I should have brought Gertrude with us from West Virginia. She was a worker. Not that it'd make any difference about this Californy soil, though. Back there, son, that ain't soil, that's a rock pile. I've done a lot of plowing in my time, but never got spots before. You should never come out here.
Oh, it's just that east 5 acres, Grandpa. The rest of the farm's every bit as good as West Virginia. Why don't you have a cool drink of water? You'll feel better.
All he is an appetite.
Grandpa, why don't you change your mind? Let me call that salesman and have him bring us out here a tractor.
I ain't gonna plow with nothing I can't yell at.
Grandpa, sometimes your head can be as hard as one of them rocks. We can't work this farm without no tractor.
It's gonna take more than a tractor to make farmland out of that strip up there. And besides, we ain't got no money.
Hey, you folks. Hello there. My name is Bailey, George Bailey. I'm an insurance broker from Los Angeles.
Yeah. We're the McCoys.
McCoy?
We don't want no insurance. If one of us dies, the rest of us is on his own.
Oh, no, I'm not selling insurance. In fact, well, I'm retiring. That's why I'm here to see if I might buy a little land from you.
Well, Mr. Bailey, I only need for sale.
Well, I wouldn't need much, just a few acres.
Oh, I don't think we get the kind of land you'd want.
Oh, just a little piece, enough for my wife and me to settle down, enjoy country life, maybe grow a few things. Oh, for instance, I noticed that section up there by the hill when I drove in. Has a very nice view.
You'd buy that piece of land?
Well, sure.
For money?
If the deal's right, why not?
Yeah, and you expect to grow things there?
Not me exactly. My wife's the one with the green thumb. Oh, she'll love it there.
Yeah, mister, you must have taken leave of your senses.
Mr. Bailey, there's about, I'd say, 5 acres in that parcel. Now, how much you figure you could pay for it? That is, if I agreed to sell it to you.
Most I could afford would be, say, $400.
$400? Well, that land won't grow weeds. That land's...
Why don't you go fix the barn door?
There ain't nothing wrong with the barn door.
Why don't you go fix the reaper, then?
We ain't got no reaper.
Why don't you go buy one and bust it and then fix it? Boy's just getting over the fever. The doctor don't want to get him worked up. Like the boy says, the land is weed-free.
Grandpa, I said no such thing. What I said...
You're going to be back again with a fever. Excuse us. Look. It ain't that I don't like to have you around, but would you go away, please?
What are you fixing to do? That poor fella's ignorant. You're not going to take advantage of him, are you?
This is big business. He wants to buy a piece of land. I might want to sell it. Now, go on, will you?
Oh, now, Grandpa, he's just
Now, look, I've been around this a lot longer than you have. I can handle this all right. I'll see you over at the house. Go. Well, Mr. Bailey, boy does get upset about selling a piece of the farm. You know what? You know how it is.
Well, of course, yes. Well, I wouldn't want to talk you into something that's against your principles.
You said you'd give $400?
Well, yes, that's the best I can do.
Well, I don't like to sell it that cheap. You know, it is valuable land.
Well, it looks like there are a lot of rocks up there.
Oh, sure. That's what makes the land valuable. Why, they're just begging for rocks in the city for stepping stones and fireplaces and things like that. Rocks are the backbone of this country, you know. You take away the rocks, and what do you got left? Just do it.
Well, I mean, I could talk it over with Martha. That's my wife. See if we could go a little higher, maybe up to...
600?
Well...
Well, you hate to sell it any cheaper than that, you know. You know, when a man gives away a piece of his farm, why, it's just like giving away a piece of yourself.
Look, I'll tell you what, Mr. McCoy. 500. That's my final offer.
500, huh?
That's it.
Well, Mr. Bailey, you drive a hard bargain.
Well,
I done it. Yes, sir, I done it. Got him up to $500. $500 for a parcel of land ain't worth the powder to blow it sky high. That's what you call horse trading, son. And to clinch the deal, he's coming back with a $200 deposit. Ain't that something to sing about? What's the matter with you? Did you hear what I said? I just made us a hatful of money.
It ain't right, Grandpa.
What ain't right? Man wanted to buy a piece of land, I just sold it to him, that's all.
Yeah, but what can he plant in it, Grandpa?
How do I know what he can plant? And he can plant what he wants to in his land. Peas, carrots, beans, beets, anything he wants to plant.
Yeah, he can plant them, but will they come up? Right. Why, you cannot even grow cactus through those rocks.
That's up to Bailey. Leastwise, it will be up to him after Monday when the papers is drawn up.
Grandpa, I am purely shocked at you. Shocked and disappointed. Me too.
I don't understand you. I don't understand none of you. Here I go out and do something that's good for the whole family, and you treat me like I was a horse thief or something. Look, the money belongs to all of us. Do you understand? All of us.
Can I have mine now, Grandpa?
Now.
Grandpa, we don't want no part of that money. We don't want no part of ill-gotten gains. Do we, Luke? Now let's just all sit down and have our lunch.
That's right. Well, excuse me, but it wouldn't spoil the appetite if I sat down and ate with you, would it?
I reckon that's a chance we ought to take. Now, Grandpa.
Lord, bless this food and us that eats it.
Amen.
And remember, Lord, Bailey come after me. I didn't go to get him. Pino, it's working. He's taking the bait.
Oh, here comes trouble.
But, honey, just think of the things we can do with a machine like this.
But, Luke, honey, you wouldn't even want a tractor that was bought with dishonest money. Would you?
Oh, ain't that dishonest? Dang women. None of them know their place. Oh, come back here. Don't let that woman run your life. You've always been begging for a tractor.
And look, honey, there's a lot to what he says. After all, we got to be thinking about ourselves.
Luke, I am not going to listen to another word. You've got to make up your mind here and now. It's either me or that tractor.
Kate.
That's my final word. If you decide on the tractor, you can plan on sleeping in the barn tonight.
Okay, leave it go, Luke. We got a cozy barn. Hey, you want to get on? Give her a whirl.
I'm sorry, Grandpa. I can't.
Well, why not?
When I took them marriage vows, I said till death do us part. Not a tractor.
Well, I'm going to get on a runner myself.
Well, Senor Grandpa, you don't know how to drive it.
Well, there must be a book of instructions or something around here.
Well, you don't know how to read it.
Well, you can read it for me. Hey, what's this?
Oh, I'm good at reading. Oh, it says here, this machine operates on a conventional gear shift with 3 speed forward and 1 reverse.
Mm-hmm.
It is powered by a 4-cylinder engine, which develops in excess of 85 horsepower with a piston displacement of 220 cubic inches.
Mm-hmm. What's it mean?
Oh, wait. It's in Spanish here. Esta maquinaria opera con una transmisión convencional de 3 velocidades de arranque y una de reversa. Está impulsada por una máquina de 4 cilindros que produce un exceso de 85 caballos de fuerza con un desplazamiento de 220 pulgadas cúbicas.
What'd you say?
I still do not know.
Well, if something must get it going. I'm going to try myself.
Well, you better not, Grandpa. It's very dangerous. Well, you better shut it off.
I don't know how I done it. You all right? Of course I'm all right. Can a man test out a tractor to see how she is for pushing over trees without everybody kicking up a fuss?
Who are you trying to fool?
Grandpa, you know what this is. It's a sign. The Lord is warning you what's going to happen if you go through with that land deal.
She may be right, you know. Oh, hogwash. It's just a tractor went skittery on me, that's all. Get back. Well, Mr. Bailey, come on in.
Oh, thank you.
Just in time to have a little coffee.
Oh, I just ate. Oh, I'm interrupting your Sunday dinner.
Oh, we're just finishing. Sit yourself down.
Oh, thank you.
This is my family, Mr. Bailey.
How do you do?
Oh, Sure.
Well, sir, I told my wife about the land.
Yeah?
She's as happy as a lark. We're going to be mighty pleased living there.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean is, enjoying the country life, the good fresh air and all.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of fresh air, all right, yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, in fact, my wife's already busy planning our truck garden.
Yeah.
Did you say a truck garden, Mr. Bailey?
Oh, yes. I notice you folks raise your own corn, tomatoes, lettuce, things like that. Guess I can do the same, huh?
I reckon you better talk to Grandpa about that.
Well,
Sure. You can raise anything there. That's swell land, mister.
Little Luke?
Oh, you can, Kate. Just because there's a few rocks there don't mean that it ain't good land. Well, they give good money for rocks in the city. Fellow could become a millionaire on the rocks alone. Couldn't he, Grandpa?
excuse me, Mr. Bailey.
What'd you do that for?
It'll learn you not to tell lies.
Well, I only said what you said. You was lying, wasn't you?
Well, that's different. When I said it, I was doing it as a smart businessman.
Well, I was only trying to be smart like you. I know he's trying to be like you. And then you go and hit me.
Well, I guess I asked for it.
You know, Mr. Bailey, it's kind of hard getting used to living in the...
Oh, well, all right, Mr. McCoy. I'll just give you my deposit to bind the deal here. Let's see, 20, 50, 80, 100, 40, 60, 80, $200.
$200?
Pick up your money, Mr. Bailey. The deal's off.
What?
I want to forget the whole thing.
Well, now, look here. Everything's been arranged. It's all settled. Now, listen, Mr.
Now,
McCoy.
you listen to me, Mr. Bailey. That land ain't worth nothing. Why, you couldn't raise enough there to feed a squirrel.
Really?
Mr. Bailey, I've been fixing to cheat you. I'm ashamed of myself. I want the whole thing to stop right here.
Mr. McCoy, you're an honest man. I'll be proud to have you as a neighbor.
But you ain't going to be my neighbor.
Oh, yes, I am. I appreciate your telling me the disadvantages, but, Mr. McCoy, we made a deal. I'm happy to hold you to it.
Look, Grandpa, you told him the truth. He can't do no more than that.
Sure, Grandpa. If he still wants the land now, it's fine with us.
Well, I guess it's a deal.
Well, fine and dandy. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, huh? 2 o'clock at the bank. Oh, thank you. So long, neighbors.
Goodbye, Mr. Bailey. What's that?
Howdy. You folks own this place?
Yeah?
Good. I'd like to talk to you about purchasing that east 5 acres over there.
The east 5 acres? It's getting to be a mighty popular piece of land all of a sudden. I'm sorry, mister. It's already sold.
Sold? To whom?
A fellow named Bailey.
Oh, him again.
$500.
500? Oh, what a crook. How he finds out about these freeway plans, I'll never know.
Freeway?
That's right. I'm a purchasing agent with the Highway Commission. My name's Fenton. Our new freeway's going right over those 5 acres. Now, I came down here to buy it from you, but I guess I'll have to deal with Bailey.
What? You figure this here fellow Bailey knowed about the freeway?
Son, Mr. Bailey is one of the shrewdest real estate operators in the county. Well, it's too bad. I'd like to see you folks get the profit.
Profit? How much do you figure there'd be?
Well, I'm authorized to pay $1,500.
Mister, what time is it?
Why, it's almost 3 o'clock. Why?
Nothing. It's too late. Grandpa's already turned over the papers by now.
Well, sorry, folks. So long.
Deal all signed, sealed, and delivered. Well, did you hear what I said? I done closed the deal, and there's the money.
Yeah, Grandpa, don't get all head up, but there's something I got to tell you.
Don't push money away like that, boy. That's real United States money. That ain't Jeff Davis's picture. That's Grant. He was on the winning side.
Grandpa, I think you better listen to Luke.
You know that fellow wanted that land so bad that I could have got him another $50. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do believe I could have got him up another $50 if I wanted to cheat him, that is.
You cheat him? Ah!
What is this?
Now, Grandpa, just sit back. Luke's got something he's got to tell you. But don't get yourself riled up now, Grandpa. Go ahead, Luke.
Well, Grandpa, I got bad news. That fella Bailey ain't no insurance man. He's a crook.
A crook?
Yes, sir.
Grandpa, they wanted to build a freeway over the east 5 acres. Mr. Bailey knew about it. He just wanted to buy it so he could sell it back to the state.
For $1,500.
You sure of that?
Yes, sir.
Well, that just goes to show you never know people, do you?
Grandpa, maybe you didn't hear me right. I said that fellow Bailey cheated you. That land's worth 3 times what he give for it.
I hate you. And all the time I was fixing to cheat him, and he was a crook. And I felt so sorry for my...
Don't you better run and get the starter. Grandpa's plumb hysterical. Grandpa.
Say, Mr. McCoy, I want to talk to you.
Well, what seems to be the trouble, Mr. Bailey?
Well, there's plenty of trouble. There must be some mix-up here. I just read this deed.
Oh, that? Well, I'll tell you. You were such an all-fired nice fella. I just didn't have the heart to say that east 5 acres. That's why I had the bank change it to the west 5 acres.
Well, what in the world do I want with the west 5 acres?
Better land. Soil's better for that truck garden you was talking about. Just right for raising peas and tomatoes and lettuce. No, I don't think we want at least 5 acres anyways, because they're putting a freeway in. Be awful noisy.
Freeway? Who cares about that? The point is, you didn't write out this deed as we agreed. Now, I want my money back.
Mr. Bailey, you was in such an all-fired hurry to get that deed, you didn't stop to read it.
I don't care, McCoy. I want my money back.
Well, now, I hate to see an unhappy man, so let's call the whole thing off, huh? There you are. Wait a minute now. There you are. So long. I hate to lose such a fine neighbor.
Hi, Mr. Crook.
It's like all is said. The only way to live is by the golden rule. Ain't that right, little Luke?
Anything you say, Grandpa.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he may take Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Oh, Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Jingles. That sure is neat, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa, we expecting company?
No, why? Uh-oh.
What's the matter, Grandpa?
I ain't never seen a man dressed like that and carrying one of them little satchels that want packing a lot of trouble for somebody. Now, you leave me do the talking.
Okay.
Ah, good evening.
I do.
I'm Emmett Peabody. You're Mr. McCoy, I presume?
Well, maybe I am and maybe I ain't, but if I was McCoy, what would you want to be saying
Well, you
about?
see, I represent Mrs. Ackroyd, who you know holds a mortgage on this property.
Oh, yeah. Well, I am Amos McCoy. Come in.
Oh, thank you.
Luke, Kate. This Mr. Peabody. That's my grandson Luke and his wife Kate.
Yeah.
He's Miss Ackroyd's lawyer. Watch him.
Well, why don't we sit down?
Thank you.
Peabody.
Thank you. Hello. Well, I'd like to congratulate you folks on the way you've improved the appearance of this property.
Yeah, we've been working mighty hard, Mr. Peabody.
It's a very pretty little garden you've got out there. You've done wonders with the house, too.
And now that you give us the sugar coating, would you mind giving us the pill?
Yeah, your grandfather is a very direct person, I can see. Well, now, according to the agreement made between the late Benjamin McCoy, who I understand willed the property to you, and my client, Mrs. Ackroyd, the $3,000 you advanced to Mr. McCoy was to be repaid with interest at the rate of $50 per month. Said payments due and payable on the 15th day of each month. Well, I'm afraid we've fallen a little behind in our payments, haven't we? 3 months to be exact. You know, under the terms of the mortgage, default of 3 payments entitles her to foreclosure.
Foreclose?
That means Mrs. Ackroyd could take away our house, Grandpa.
Take away the house?
Well, I'm only carrying out my client's instructions. Couldn't you make some partial payment?
We haven't got a penny right now.
Yeah, we had one piece of bad luck right on top of another one.
That first month, we had the mortgage money all ready, and the mule up and broke his leg.
Just how it is, believe me.
Well, if you could just get Ms. Ackroyd to wait until the fruit crop comes in.
Yeah, we're going to have a bumper crop, too. I bet you them peaches is going to run about 2 peaches to the truckload.
Look, I'm just representing Mrs. Ackroyd.
Well, ain't there nothing you can do to get her to wait?
Well, my hands are tied, I'm afraid.
Couldn't he just sort of nudge you with your knee, like?
This may cost me a client. But seeing how you folks have worked so hard, I tell you what I'm going to do. Now, this is Tuesday. I'm going to give you until Friday. How about that?
Well, it could be better.
Where are we going to get $150 by Friday?
Well, you have 4 days to figure something out. Believe me, my best wishes are all with you. Well, I'll see you Friday about this time.
Well, goodbye, Mr. Peabody.
Bye.
Give our kindest to Mrs. Ackroyd, would you, please?
Mr. Peabody, I got something you can tell Miss
But,
Ackroyd.
Grandpa,
I know just how you feel, Mr. McCoy, but what can we do? After all, we are dealing with a hard-headed businesswoman. I'll see you Friday.
bye.
She looks pretty good.
Oh, I hope we didn't take off too much dirt. Maybe that is why he's holding her together.
So don't you be talking that way in front of George McMichael, you hear? You're going to spoil the deal.
Well, there she is, George. You sure hate to leave her go. You can't have her unless you promise to give her a good home. Look at there's an old horse trader for you. Just taking to get behind the wheel, but you'd never tell him by looking at his face, would you?
Oh, no, that George is smart. He is. Yeah, he knows goodbye when he sees one.
It ain't often you can get one of these if it ain't never been raced.
I don't know, fellas. My sister's expecting me to get her a slightly newer model.
A newer model? You ain't gonna pass up a pre-war automobile, are you? That's the paint that come on it. Look at them tires.
Yeah, that's just what I'm doing.
Well, that's practically the new tape we put on there less than 2 weeks ago.
Hey, George. George, come here and look at this sharp interior. Huh? We patched that upholstery with cellophane tape so as you could see the genuine cotton stuffing.
What sort of shape's the top end, huh?
Well, now, that's the best part of the whole deal. Even with a top up, anytime you're mighty, you just stand up and take a look at the scenery. You can't do that in them new
Do me a favor, Amos. Relax, will you? Let me see.
Yeah, look at that tidy little engine.
They really know how to make them in those days.
Yeah, ain't like them new ones all choked up with horsepower so the rest of the car can't keep up with them.
How much mileage you been getting on her?
George, you drive slow past any gas station. She'll inhale enough to carry you 50 miles.
How fast would you go?
Well, now I'll tell you, George. We'll give you 1 year guarantee you don't get no tickets for speeding.
Would you mind starting up the engine?
Well, now about starting her up. On a cold morning, she starts in a flash. I don't know how she's going to do in this heat. Give her a try.
Yeah.
There we go. Now. Hear that starter? Purrs like a kitten, don't you?
You know what I think, fellas? I think this car's just about in its last legs.
Now, seeing as how you got your heart set on, don't get mad now, Luke. You can have her for 175. Come on, get out, fellas.
Amos, I wouldn't give you $1.75 for this here piece of junk.
You're fooling.
I ain't fooling. Let's face the facts, Amos. Why, this here car's over 30 years old.
Why, she's hardly broke in. You won't find none of them new cars will run as long as this car's run. I'll tell you what you do. Seeing that you can have her for 160, and I'll throw in a coil of wire.
What do I need with a coil of wire?
Well, what do you think's holding them fenders on? String?
Let's forget the whole thing, will you? I don't want to buy this heap of junk. Now, why don't you let me loan you $150 so you can pay off this?
George, I told you before, we're McCoys, and McCoys don't steal and they don't borrow. We've been raised to think they was pretty close together. Now, let's get back to the car.
Hurry up with those things,
Tarnation! What are you doing with my musket?
Oh, Kate told me to clean up all the stuff for the junk man.
My musket? Is she getting soft in the head or something?
Well, I tried to tell her, Grandpa.
Luke, what's the matter with that wife of yours?
Now, don't get mad, Grandpa. Kate didn't realize what she was doing. You see, George, us McCoys is mighty proud of that musket. Come on, Peppino, let's go in and give Kate a hand with the stuff for the junk man. Go on, little Luke.
Where'd you get that musket, Amos?
This ain't just a musket, George. This is Henrietta. This has been in the McCoy family for nigh under 200 years.
Sure's a beauty. That's Baker Flintlock, by gosh. Let me look at it, will you? I ain't gonna eat it.
This musket means more to me than both my arms. Sell it to the junk man. Why didn't they sell me to the junk man?
It's worth a lot of money, Amos.
It's worth more than money, George. Zachary McCoy helped whip the redcoats with this musket.
Tell you what, Amos. I know how bad you need that $150, and since you won't let me loan it to you, I'll give you that much for the musket.
You won't give me nothing. Why, if I was to sell this musket, 30 or 40 McCoys would come down from heaven and whip the daylights out of me.
Yeah.
Now let's get back to the car.
Amos, I ain't interested in your car at any price. But, well, if you change your mind about selling that musket, though, let me know. Be seeing you.
Sell the musket. Henrietta, King George couldn't get you away from us McCoys. The Indians tried it. The whole goddamn Union Army couldn't make it neither. So I guess we can stand off Miss Ackroyd and that stiff-collared lawyer of hers.
What time the man from the odds and ends store say he was coming here?
We should be here any time now.
Hey, look what I found. These ought to fetch a pretty penny.
Uncle Hiram's stuffed skunk candelabra.
Beautiful, ain't they? Look at the expression on that one's face. Uncle Hiram sure was a good stuffer.
Luke, Grandpa, look what I got.
Where'd you get all that money?
Well, there's 72 cents here.
72 cents? Where'd you get 72 cents, young fella? You robbing a bank or something?
Nope, I come by it honest. I've been down on Center Street. Begging.
Begging?
Sure, it was real easy. I think that's what I'm going to do when I grow up.
You mean to tell me you was begging this money off of strangers on the street?
Well, they wasn't exactly strangers, Kate. I introduced myself nice and kindly. I said, "Pardon me, sir." And if there's ladies, I said, "Pardon me, madam. My name is Little Luke McCoy. And if we don't make some money real fast, we're going to be kicked out of our house."
Little Luke, how could you do a thing like that? Now, you go right back to town and give them people back their money.
Why?
Well, he can't do that. How's he going to find them?
I don't know, but Little Luke, I ought to spank you. I'll never be able to show my face in this town again.
Jingle. Try to help out and they get mad.
Ah, now, wait a minute. I know how you feel about it, son, but you know, when you go to begging money from people like that, as young and healthy as you are, why, well, that's shameful.
It is?
It's worse than stealing.
It sure is.
Beside that, it's again the law.
Now, don't you ever do nothing like that again. Us McCoys work for our money. We don't go begging for it. You understand?
They do.
Good. The money's in here yet.
Oh, no. No, Peppino. You ain't gonna sell your guitar. No, sirree. No, sir.
And why not?
Because this ain't your farm that's about to be lost. You only work on it.
I know. But I have not been paid any money for so long. I feel like a member of the family.
Now, you was telling me just the other day how much good that guitar does you when you're courting Conchita.
Only because she's so tall. I stand on the guitar to kiss her. I can always use a telephone book. No problem.
I'm Feely, odds and ends.
Howdy, Mr. Feely. Come on in. This here's my husband, Luke, and Grandpa McCoy, and our foreman, Peppino.
Tanto gusto.
All right. So, this is the stuff you want to sell, huh?
Yeah, if we can get what it's worth. There's a lot of valuable stuff here.
Yeah, there's genuine handmade articles here that folks in the city's got to pay hundreds of dollars for.
I reckon some people have to pay thousands for some of these things.
And things like this could be worth millions.
Give you $7 for the lot.
$7? For everything?
You're just joshing with us, Mr. Feely.
I guess you didn't see them genuine stuffed skunk candlesticks, did you?
Yes, I did. You better put them away. My wife's expecting.
Wait, you didn't see this. The Union Army fired this here cannonball through the roof of our cabin in West Virginia. Now, that ought to be worth a lot of money.
It would be if it had General Grant's autograph. I'm sorry, folks. I can't go a cent higher than $7.
Mr. Philly, how much if I throw in this fine Mexican guitar?
I'm afraid I won't be able to use that.
You never can tell. How tall is your wife?
What's that?
Mr. Feely, now here's a solid brass bedstead. Solid brass, every inch of it.
I know, Mr. McCoy. But people don't want to buy brass bedsteads these days. They've been out of style for years.
Yeah, but if they come back, the fellow that has this will be rich overnight.
Look, Mr. McCoy, I don't want to get rich. I just want to make a living, and I'm not going to do it if I pay more than $7 for all this stuff.
All right. I reckon we don't want to do no business with someone that don't recognize genuine stuffed skunk candlesticks.
Grandpa, that's enough now. Mr. Feely's just trying to be honest with us.
Oh, that's all right, Mrs. McCoy. In my business, you get used to this sort of thing. People always overestimate the value of their personal possessions. Is that a Baker flintlock? Is that yours?
It sure is, and it ain't for sale.
Well, I'd be willing to give you some real money for that.
Well, Mr. Feely...
Grandpa's right. It ain't for sale.
Mr. Feely, I'm awful sorry to have you come out here for nothing, but seeing as how this stuff is more valuable to us than it is to you, I reckon we better hold on to it.
Yeah, I hope we didn't cause you no hard feelings.
Think nothing of it. Happens every day in this business. Well, I better get back to my wife.
Honey, how much money we got all together from selling the eggs and preserves and cashing them pop bottles?
$11.46, not counting little Luke's begging money. And the man from the furniture store said he'd give us $32 for the living room set.
That is $43.46 altogether.
Yeah. There's got to be a way we ain't thought of to get some more money.
There ain't a thing we don't need to keep alive that isn't in this pile except...
No. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. There's some things in a man's life that means more than a roof over his head. Henrietta's one of them things to me. I don't think it's fair for you to want me to sell it.
Nobody asked you to.
No, you ain't asking me to sell it, but I know what you're thinking. You just think I'm a mean old man, that's what you think.
No, we don't neither think you're a mean old man.
We understand because we love you.
Here's another $1 for the mortgage money, Kate.
Casey, wait a minute. Where did you get all this money?
I sold my locket to Linda Fitzgerald.
Casey, you mean you sold the locket your grandma left you?
Honey, you shouldn't have done that.
I was tired of it.
Now, wait a minute. So how come last week when you thought it was... Now, look at me. How come last week when you thought it was lost,
You stayed up half the night crying.
Well, that was because I liked it last week. But this week I was tired of it.
I guess I know when I'm licked. Only thing is, I hope when I die I don't go to heaven. There's going to be a lot of McCoys mad at me up there. Well, I guess I'm holding on to your property, eh?
But don't punch me in the nose, Amos. But I just want to say one last time, you don't have to sell it. I'll be glad to make you a loan of $150.
Dad blasted, George, I told you.
I know. The McCoys don't believe in borrowing. Well, all right. Hand it over.
Be good to, won't you, George?
Oh, don't you worry. If I didn't appreciate it, I wouldn't be paying you all that money.
Well, I guess that's it. So long, George.
So long, Amos.
And there's one more thing, George.
Huh? What's that, Amos?
When I come over to your place, will you sort of hide it so as I can't see it until I get used to the idea?
Okay, Amos.
Grandpa, you sure you don't want something to eat? You ain't had a bite all day.
I told you I ain't hungry.
Grandpa, maybe just a bowl of soup.
Tarnation, Kate, I told you that.
All right, Grandpa.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
It's all right.
Did you get the money down to Miss Aykroyd all right?
Luke went down the bank with it.
Where is he? Where is the old thief? Give me back my money, you crook.
What's the matter, George? You get kicked in the head or something?
What's wrong, Mr. McMichael?
What's wrong? Why, I pay good money for a busted musket, that's what. Why, look at this here hammer. It don't come down true against the flint. You couldn't fire this thing in a million years.
Fire it? Of course you can't fire it. I'd like to see somebody try to fire you if you was 200 years old. That's a relic. That ain't no rabbit gun.
You can talk till you're blue in the face. You sold me a musket that don't work. Now, I want my money back.
I thought you knew about guns. I'd give you your money back so fast and make your head swim if I had it.
We done give the money to Mrs. Aykroyd's lawyer, Mr. McMichaels.
Well, darn the luck.
So you gotta make the best of it, you old fool.
Oh, no, you don't. You ain't palming this piece of junk off on me. You owe me $150.
Where am I going to get $150?
When you harvest your crops. Or you can pay me back at $1 a week. I don't care so long as I get my money back. And what's more, I've had my shave.
Mr. McMichaels.
It's all right, Kate. When you lead an old mule to water, maybe you can't make him drink, but sometimes you can force it down his throat. Huh?
Night.
Night, Kate.
Mr. McMichaels.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made hate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Vites.
Sounds like you're bogging down, boy.
Who makes up these doggone words? Vites. How's a guy supposed to know what they mean?
Well, if you don't understand, just ask questions.
Let me see it, little Luke. Oh, it's festivities, little Luke. 100 local ranchers are lucky enough to be holding invitations to the festivities at the Valley Ranchers Association's annual dance. Festivities, that means fun, dancing and things.
Oh, thanks.
You see, when you got something bothering you, all you have to do is ask questions.
Okay, I want to ask you another question, Grandpa.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, here it is. We're ranchers. Why ain't we invited to the festivities?
Don't ask so many questions. It ain't healthy for a young boy to be asking too many questions. It ain't good to have a young growing brain loaded down with too much information.
Well, you see, little Luke, we just come here a short while ago from West Virginia. I guess they don't figure as how they know us real well yet.
Well, in a way, I'm glad they didn't invite us to their dance. I'm particular who I get social with.
You're just lucky they didn't invite me. You know what I'd tell them, don't you?
I bet it'd be good.
What would you say, Grandpa?
Luke, go on. You just act like you was Mr. President. Invite me. Come on, stand up.
You want me to be stuffy on Mr. Powell? You ready now?
Go on.
Here I go. Mr. McCoy, we High and Mighty Valley Ranchers Association be mighty pleased if you and your little old family would attend our social.
Well, now, Mr. Pell, we're rightly proud for you to give us this invite. But you see, we got a previous engagement with your betters. We promised to set with the chickens.
In a way, I'm glad they didn't invite us. I know about the rest of you.
Yeah, I am, too. I'd sure hate to set a whole evening with that bunch of stuffed shirts. Valley Ranchers. Ain't one of them worth the powder to blow 'em to kingdom come. Especially that president fella, that Mr. Pell.
Hello there. Hello, all you McCoys.
Good morning, Mr. Pell.
How do you do, Mr. Pell?
Morning, Mrs. McCoy. Well, here's an invitation to the Valley Ranchers Association annual dance.
Thank you.
Hey, Grandpa, tell him about sitting with the chickens. Wait till you hear this. Oh, boy.
Hear what?
Nothing, Mr. Pell. Little Luke, why don't you run on and finish your chores?
Just wait to hear Grandpa tell them all.
I hear your sister Hassie calling you from the kitchen. Now run along.
I didn't hear anything.
Now, I did. Now, go on now, scat.
We'd be rightly proud to attend the festivities.
Yeah, we'll be there with bells on. If there's anything we can do to help you, just let us know.
Well, as a matter of fact, the children will be helping the ladies with the decorations tomorrow morning. So if your young lad won't be too busy...
Yeah, little Luke will be there.
Fine. Well, I've got to run along and get the rest of these invitations distributed, so I'll see you all later. Bye, Mrs. McCoy.
Goodbye, Mr. Pell.
Sure is a nice fella.
Salt of the earth. Here's the invitation, Kate.
Oh, Grandpa, it's going to be a wonderful dance. Why don't you ask Flora McMichaels to go with you?
Bite your tongue, girl.
But she's a lovely woman, Grandpa. She sure does like you.
Well, the feeling's unmutual.
I still think you should ask her. You two'd make a lovely couple.
That's the nastiest thing you ever said to your Grandpa.
You sure your grandpa's coming?
Yep. Gets to pick me up and take me home.
Is he bringing anyone to the party?
Is who bringing anyone to the party?
Now, look here, little Luke. Don't you sass your elders. I'll give you one more chance. Is he, and you know who I mean, is he bringing anyone to the party?
No, but I got an idea I'd like to ask you.
You think he'd really like to?
Well, ever since he found out you was her neighbor, he's been taking a bath in the middle of the week.
Right. Well, if he isn't going to ask me, I'm going to ask him, that's all.
Come on, little Luke. It's time for supper.
In a minute, Grandpa.
You're looking real fit, Amos.
I am fit, ma'am. There ain't no reason why I shouldn't look it. Come on, little Luke.
What's your hurry, Grandpa?
I'm hungry.
Oh, I just remembered. I got to see Mr. Pell about the refreshments. Why don't you help Miss McMichael with the lanterns?
Yeah, Peppino can help her.
Oh, I need Peppino. Come on, Peppino.
Come here.
Oh, Amos, are you bringing a lady to the dance?
No, I ain't, ma'am.
You may call me Flora, Amos.
And you can call me Mr. McCoy. I'll call you, ma'am, and that way you'll be showing respect for me as a man. And I'll be showing respect for you for having the sense for showing respect for me.
You know, what I like about you is that you're so, I don't know, so salty.
And if you like salt, ma'am, I'd be obliged if you'd go bother a pretzel.
Amos, I don't have a date for the dance.
I'm going alone.
I'm making a delicious box supper. Everybody says I make the best box supper in town. Do you like smoked turkey legs?
Not when the turkey's breathing down my neck, no, ma'am.
Oh, Amos, I should get very angry with you.
Well, that's the best idea I've heard today.
Oh, but how can I get mad at you? You're so cute, even when you insult me.
Insult you? Oh, I ain't even begun to insult you yet. Now, listen to this, ma'am. You ready? Ma'am, it pains me to be obliged to tell you that you are fat.
I know. I'm going on a diet. Wait till you see me after a couple of months on a diet.
Okay, it's a deal. I'll meet you right here. Wear a yellow rose so I'll know it's you. Now, I gotta get back to work.
Wonder what he'd like me to wear when he takes me to the dance.
Well, Grandpa, decided who you're going to take to the dance yet? It's tomorrow night, you know.
Sure I have. I'm taking my best friend, Amos McCoy. Never go no place without him. What you cooking for us, Kate?
I'm cooking up some roast goose and candy jams for Luke and myself.
For Luke and yourself?
That's right, Grandpa. You see, every lady's supposed to fix a box supper for herself and her escort.
Well, what about me?
Well, Grandpa, they don't like for two men to be eating out of one box supper.
Oh, that's the law here in California.
What kind of hogwash is that?
Oh, besides, there wouldn't be enough for the three of us. My appetite's been getting powerful big lately.
So I wonder if that could mean that we...
Oh, no, you'd be the one with the big appetite.
Well, now, don't think I don't know what you're trying to do. Don't think I can't see through the tree. You're trying to get me to take that man eater to the dance.
Now, how can anybody call that beautiful woman a man-eater?
Well, you just ask the man she's trying to eat, and you can take that roast goose and them candy jams and keep them. I never liked the way you candy jams anyways. Too much candy, not enough yam.
I hear tell Flora McMichael's the best cook in this town.
Yeah, best cook? What's cooking? Eating's nothing but a habit. What's your girl cooking for supper, Peppino?
Oh, Conchita is making my favorite dish. Plenty for you.
Mm-hmm.
She's cooking a whole big pot of víbora con frijoles.
Oh. That sounds delicious. What is it?
Rattlesnake with beans.
Well, you know what they say about box suppers. Two's company and three's a crowd.
Hi, Grandpa.
Hey, young fella, where you been?
Well, I've been over to Miss McMichael's. Boy, Are you lucky?
You never know what the things that's happening to me around here.
And Miss McMichael can sure cook. She's making the best box supper I ever have seen.
She is, huh?
Yeah. Are you going to have a time? Smoked turkey and onion soup, hot muffins, blueberry pie, French fried potatoes, cranberry sauce, cheese toast, pink lemonade.
Well, that food ain't gonna do Grandpa no good.
Now, you see, little Luke, he ain't taking Flora McMichaels to the dance.
He ain't? How come he ain't?
How come I ain't? 'Cause I ain't asked her, that's how come.
Boy, sure is going to be a shame to pass up all that good food.
Food ain't everything. Food's... You say cheese toast?
That's right.
French fries?
That's what you said.
Well, first thing in the morning, I think I'll be just making a call on Miss McMichael. Just a social call, mind you, but I hope my stomach don't get the rest of me into trouble. Cheese toast, huh? French fries.
Come in. I'm out here in the kitchen.
Stay where you are. I'm following the smell of that pie.
Oh, it's you, Mr. McCoy.
It's the way a kitchen ought to smell, by jingoes. How are you, Flora?
Just fine, Mr. McCoy. Can I do something for you?
Well, I just come to tell you won. That is providing little Luke. He wasn't shooting a lot of hot air at me about that cheese toast and them French fries.
I beg your pardon.
You win. I'm taking you and your box supper to the dance tonight. Hey. What kind of pie is that?
It's none of your business, Mr. McCoy.
Hey, Flory, what kind of way is that to talk to the fellas going to take you to the dance tonight?
Mr. McCoy, if you're under the impression that you and I are going to the dance in the company of each other, that is a false impression. I have accepted the invitation of another gentleman.
You didn't do that.
I most certainly did.
Well, all right. Now you can call up the other fella and tell him you're going with me and say about them French fries. Don't cook them till the last minute, because I like them real crispy.
Mr. McCoy, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to my pie.
Don't say my pie. That's our pie.
We're in my way, Mr. McCoy. Mr. McCoy, will you please get your nose out of my pie?
I don't understand you. Just the other day you told me how much you like me. Remember?
That was the other day. This is today.
But I ain't changed none. I'm the same lovable old rascal.
Maybe I've changed. Maybe I've developed some pride. Maybe I'd like to go to the dance with a fella who likes me for myself instead of my cooking.
What lie I told you that?
Mr. Pell, that's who.
Mr. Pell, that stuff shirt?
Mr. Pell is a gentleman. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. McCoy, I have a lot of work to do.
All right, Flory, if that's the way you want it. If you want to go with Pell to the dance, why, all right, but... Well, he's stuffing your head full of lies about how good-looking you are. He'll have his mind on your turkey legs.
Are you two doing that again?
Well, it ain't my fault. She forces me.
I bet. But where's Grandpa?
He's sitting out in the porch.
I don't think he feels too good.
He's been acting poorly ever since he came back from McMichael's this morning.
Yeah, what's wrong with him?
Well, little Luke, you're too young to understand.
Well, I'm getting sick and tired of the things I'm too young to understand. Grandpa?
Hi, little Luke.
Ain't you going to the dance?
Well, the horses couldn't drag me to that hen party.
This morning, Kate says you're going up there and asked Miss McMichael to go to the dance with you.
Well, I'll tell you, little Luke, a man's got to make up his mind whether he wants to go through life mooning around, taking women to dances, or does he want to do something worthwhile. You understand?
Yes, sir. Mrs. McMichael wouldn't go with you.
Why ain't you sleeping?
You know what I think?
No, what do you think?
Well, I think it is to take all the women and put them on one half of the country, and all the men and put them in the other half, and then build a big wall right down the middle. I bet you anything, everybody would be much better off.
Now, I don't think you're right, but the wear and tear on that wall would be something awful.
Why would it?
Well,
Don't tell me. I'm too young to understand.
You will be all right, little Luke. You see, you're going to be all right.
I like you to meet Conchita Perez.
Mucho gusto de conocerlo, señor.
Conchita don't speak English.
Oh, she just come over to this country?
No, she's been here 9 years. She's just very stupid. Hey, how come you're not dressed to go to the dance?
Grandpa ain't going to the dance.
He's not. Uh-huh. Little Luke, you do me a favor. You take Conchita inside, you introduce her to your brother and Miss Kate. I gotta talk to Grandpa. Usted se va con el chamaco aquí, cosa linda.
No sea tan atrevido. No me toques la cara delante de la gente.
She's crazy about me. Only she's too stupid to know it. Now, Grandpa, what is all this foolishness about you not going to the party? Just because Miss McMichael turned you down is no reason to cheat yourself out of a good time.
I ain't cheating myself out of nothing. Miss McMichael didn't turn me down. I could have made her go if I wanted to bad enough.
Grandpa, you're gonna kill me for saying it. But I think maybe you like this woman a little bit.
Right.
You like her?
No, I'm gonna kill you for saying it.
I'm sorry. You don't like her at all.
You're right.
In fact, you don't like every woman.
Right again.
And the only reason you were gonna take her to the party is on account of her cooking.
Right.
And you don't care if she goes with someone else.
You're darn right I don't.
And she means nothing to you.
Right.
And you're full of baloney.
Right. Now, wait a minute.
Hello? Hello, Peppino.
Hello, Miss McMichael.
Where is everybody?
Everybody just went inside.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Flora.
Where's Amos?
He went in his room. Where's Mr. Pell, Flora?
Well, how should I know where Mr. Pell is?
Well, I thought Mr. Pell was taking you to the dance.
He most certainly is not.
Didn't you tell Grandpa that Mr. Pell was taking you?
I most certainly did.
Well, now, just a minute here. If you... if she told... If he was...
Flora McMichael, you're a devil.
Oh, I get it. You told Grandpa you were going with Mr. Pell, but it is not true. Very smart.
Oh, I just thought he needed taking down a couple of pegs.
Well, we better get going. We're going to miss the entertainment.
Oh, yeah, we better tell Grandpa to get dressed in a hurry.
Why, Grandpa, you was listening.
With both ears. Come on, Flo, you don't want to miss nothing. Hey, you got the box supper? Hey, did you put off cooking the French fries at the last minute like I told you?
Just a moment, Amos. I don't want you to take me to the dance under false impression.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm afraid I've got bad news for you. On the way over here, I stopped for gas, and somebody stole a box supper off the seat. That's what happened.
The onion soup and the smoked turkey legs.
I'm afraid so.
The pie and the French fries and cheese toast and cranberry sauce.
Well, I guess you ain't interested in taking me without my food, so I might as well be running along.
Wait, Florrie.
Yes?
Seeing as how you're all dressed up in your best bib and tucker, and, well, I'm sort of doing it up myself. I'm going to take you anyways.
Oh, Amos. You mean you'd take me even without my box of supper?
Well, why not? We ain't going to starve. You like rattlesnake with beans? Well, do you or don't you?
Oh, Amos, I've got a confession to make. That was a fib about the box supper being stolen. I just wanted to see what you'd say.
You know, that's the best news I heard in a month of Sundays. Now I'm going to tell you something.
What, Amos?
You ain't fat. You're just nicely rounded.
Oh, Amos, that's the sweetest thing you ever said. You're a darling.
Now, let's not get mushy about this or the whole deal's off. Well, come on. You want to be late? You missed something.
You know about that. You know what you was doing to Grandpa last night. You know about it.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he may take Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Oh, Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Who's coming tonight, Pepino?
Mr. and Mrs. McGinnis. You know, the fellow from the hardware store.
Oh, Big Mouth and his wife.
Shame on you. That's not a nice thing to say about Mr. McGinnis.
Well, then why does everyone say it?
Because he has a big mouth. Now go to bed.
Why do I have to?
You have to what?
Go to bed.
Don't you go talking sassy to Grandpa like that. It's you that should be in bed. Now skedaddle. Good night.
Night.
You're gonna like this, Grandpa.
I ain't gonna be tasting it.
You mean to say you won't be here?
You bet your boots ain't gonna be here. Me and Luke's got plans for tonight.
You mean to say Senora Kenny's gonna let Senor Luke go out?
She ain't got nothing to say about it. Luke's a McCoy. When the McCoy wants to go out, he goes out. I can hardly wait to sink my teeth in that beef.
Oh, you're going to Mr. Boswell's barbecue?
You bet. All the boys is going to be there. No women. Me and Luke's doing our soft shoe dance. I've been practicing. Oh, come on, son. Shake a leg. The beef will be all gone before we get to that barbecue.
I can't go to the barbecue, Grandpa.
You can't go?
No, sir.
Well, why not?
Well, I just don't feel like going. Why don't you go on ahead without me?
Oh, conson it. I can't go without you. How about that dance we've been practicing? I've been thinking about that for a week. Just why can't you go now?
No, I just can't.
Luke McCoy, that wife of yours talk you out of it.
Now, what do you think I am? Some kind of a mollycoddle or something, Grandpa?
Kate didn't have nothing to do with it.
Oh, Grandpa, I'm awful sorry I can't let Luke go to the barbecue with you.
Let him go. Just why can't you let him go?
Well, company's coming, and it ain't fitting I should be entertaining without my husband being here. Oh, honey, I thought you said you was going to wash these cups for me.
Oh, shucks, I plumb forgot. Well, I'll get going on it, sugar baby.
I'll be here any minute.
I'll get going on it, sugar baby. I'll get going on it, sugar baby.
Oh, cut it out, Grandpa.
You know, I like every dead blasted one of them. Females. You take Mac McGinnis is coming here tonight. He knows how to handle women. He don't let that wife of his make no puppy dog out of him. It's pitiful, that's what it is. Just pitiful. I know the first time I seen it. She was the kind that have you eating out of her hand like a puppy dog.
Ain't you afraid all that hot air's gonna melt them mail-order teeth of yours?
All right.
Come on, now. You stop that. You stop that, Grandpa. In this house, I wear the pants.
Yeah, you wear the pants, but she's got the pocket so filled with rocks you can't move.
That ain't so. That ain't so. I do what I feel like doing. Anything I don't feel like doing, I don't do.
And you didn't want to go to that barbecue.
No, sir. Barbecue beef gives me the itch and hives.
Oh, you just getting a lot of fun out of washing them cups. Huh?
You can bet your winter britches I am. There ain't nothing I like better than washing cups.
Just like a puppy dog. I could cry when I think I'm talking to McCoy. I'd be rightly obliged if you change your name.
Luke, Grandpa, they're driving up.
You better not let Mac McGinnis see you doing them kitchen chores. He'll die laughing.
Don't bother me none. I don't care if you just bring him in here and let him watch. I'm just sorry I'm going to be done before he gets here.
Hi.
Well, hi there.
Hi, Grandpa. So glad you could come.
Yeah, I never pass up a chance at free eat.
Oh, Mac. Says that every place we go.
I don't recall hearing anyone ask you for that information.
Sorry, dear.
Oh, hi, Mac.
Well, Luke.
Mac, don't you look pretty tonight?
Thank you.
Say, I could go for some of this punch here.
Pepino will bring the cups right in. I'm sorry.
Oh, Pepino falling behind in the kitchen, is he?
We get a trained puppy that washes the cups.
A pup?
Yeah, now, look, Grandpa.
Now, over, down. That's a good fella now, down.
Now, what's this all about?
How about some potato chips? They'll go real good with that punch. They'll sharpen up your appetite.
Yes, hey, they look good.
Oh, no, thanks. I've been eating too much lately. We had a big lunch today, didn't we, Mac?
Yeah, and I got the heartburn to prove it. Say, what was that you cooked? Pot roast or one of my old saddles?
Come on now, Mac. It was pot roast, of course. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make it into sandwiches for you to take with you when you go fishing tomorrow.
Oh, that's fine. And if we're attacked by grizzlies, we'll have something to poison them with. By the way, Amos, maybe Luke here'd like to join us. We're going to get us some speckled trout up at Dead Man's Rapids.
Dead Man's Rapids?
They call it that because a fella got killed there last year. It's real dangerous. I wish you'd go somewhere else. Yes, dear.
Well, Luke, are you coming?
Oh, no, I ain't much on fishing.
Maybe Kate will want him to go along.
I should say I wouldn't.
None of the wives let their husbands go fishing there anymore.
Any man that'll let his wife tell him what he can do or can't do ought to be buried because, brother, he's dead.
Amen. We go along with that, Luke, huh?
But now, just hold on here. I don't want to go fishing because I just don't happen to be a fishing man. It ain't because Kate wouldn't like it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, don't try to fight it, Luke. Some men do what they want to and others do what they're told.
Well, I do what I want.
Good. Then you're coming fishing with us.
Well, no, that ain't what I want.
Make up your mind. You're going or ain't you?
Now, Grandpa, you stop it. Luke ain't going fishing, and that's the end of it.
Well, now, just a second here. I'll go fishing if I want to.
But you don't want to.
Now, sugar babe, don't be telling me what I want or what I don't want. It ain't fitting.
But, Luke, if Kate don't want you to go...
It ain't what Kate wants, it's what I want.
Will you go then?
I wouldn't miss it for anything.
Luke, honey, I thought you didn't want to go fishing.
I'm sorry, Sugar Babe, but a man's got to be free to do what he wants to do, whether he wants to do it or not. I don't rightly know what I said, but I'm sticking by it.
If all the mealy-mouthed, lily-livered, yellow-bellied... So you let her talk you out of it again, huh?
Now, hold on there, Grandpa.
I thought last night for a spell you was coming back to the land of the living, but goodbye, Luke. Rest in peace.
Grandpa, I just don't see any sense in worrying her, that's all.
Well, don't worry you. Go fishing and don't tell her about it.
Grandpa, that'd be lying.
That ain't lying. That's just trying to protect somebody you love from being hurt by the truth.
Now, let's not argue about it. I don't like fishing that much, and I just ain't going.
Now, you listen here, Luke McCoy. You just set yourself down on the step here. Grandpa's going to give you a talk straight from the heart. Now, it don't make no difference whether you like fishing or you don't, but you gotta go.
What do you mean I gotta go?
Your manhood and your marriage is at stake. Now, Grandma was a fine woman, but I had the same trouble with her. But I done something about it, the same as you gotta do with Kate. You gotta rear up and take a stand. Let Kate know who's boss. You're gonna be miserable, and so is she. You just gotta go fishing on Dead Man's Rapids. For your own happiness and hern.
For her happiness?
For hern.
Luke, Grandpa. You two about ready to eat?
Kate, get out my fishing gear.
But Luke, I thought you said...
Never mind what you thought. I want to go fishing, I'm going fishing. He always acts so miserable when you do something to make him happy.
Yeah, bet you never caught trout like those back in West Virginia.
Listen to him, Luke. Back there, you better be tied up to a tree when you hook a trout. Had a good time, Mac, thank you.
Good, glad you did. Don't forget the poker game tonight.
Yeah, we'll be there.
So long.
So long, Mike. Thanks a lot. We'll see you.
Say, you better hurry up. The poker games ain't sharp.
Oh, Grandpa, I think I'll skip the poker game tonight.
What? You ain't backsliding on me again.
Now, look, I made my point. I showed Kate who was the boss by going fishing today. Now, tonight I want to enjoy myself. I'm going to spend the evening with my wife.
I'm beginning to think I got a hopeless case on my hands.
Come on, Kate. Kate, I'm home.
Don't take but half an hour to see that.
What are we going to do tonight?
Oh, I'm going to the movies with Flora McMichaels.
Flora McMichael. What about me?
You're going to be enjoying your freedom.
Kate? You mad at me?
Of course not. It's just that I understand how you feel about a man needing his freedom. So I made plans for myself. Tomorrow night I'm going to the Ladies Sewing Circle, and Tuesday night I'm going to the movies with Lila, and Wednesday night I'm going to learn how to play bridge, and Thursday night...
Hold on, Kate. I just wanted a taste of freedom. You're giving me enough to choke a horse.
I don't want you to feel like a trained puppy. And seeing as how freedom is so important to you, I think you should have a powerful lot of it. Now, if you will excuse me, I've got to get dressed.
All right. All right, if you feel about that way, that's just fine with me. So I'll just go out with the boys and I'll have me a time. That's what I'll do. I might even go down to the amusement arcade and look them penny movies. That's what I might do.
There's going to be men here tonight playing poker, and we don't want no female within 10 miles of the place. So put on your hat and go. So she says, where'll I go and how long will I stay? And I said, when you get out the front door, start running till you fall on your face. And then lie there till you get your strength back, and then start crawling toward home real slow.
If the average fellow spoke that way to his wife, it'd take 4 doctors 2 weeks to put them together. That's why I never get married.
Well, my advice to any young fellow getting married is pick up his bride, carry her across the threshold, and then drop her right on the floor.
That's what my uncle did with my aunt.
Yeah, better work, too.
She got up and broke his jaw.
Well, some guys have the knack and some don't.
What's going on here?
Lila, I thought you were at your mother's.
I missed my bus. What's going on here, Mac?
Here, Lila, come inside. We'll talk in here. Excuse us a minute, fellas. Come right in here. I want to have a talk with you.
It looks like trouble. I hope he don't hurt her.
How many times have I told you about having card games in this house, Mac McGinnis?
Ooh, now she's going to get it. How?
I don't care if they can't hear me. I'm good and sore. I don't mind your acting like a big shot in front of your pals so they'll think you're a big man, but you know the rules in this house.
Oh, honey, don't be mad.
I'm good mad. I told you I didn't want any card playing around here, and I meant it.
Oh, this is so pretty when it's real low. Now, let me hear it nice and soft.
I feel like yelling. I've been letting you get away with murder. Well, there are going to be some changes made. Now, do you know what's going to happen the next time you pull that big shot act with me when we're out in company? I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I'm sorry, dear. No. I'm going to pick up the nearest lamp and wrap it around your snout.
Well, I guess I told her all right. Imagine her coming home and walking into a poker game. You know what I said to her?
Guess I'll be getting along.
Well, look, Peppino, I guess we better be going too. It's getting late. Like us. But I'm proud of you, boy. You're a real McCoy. You sure showed her who would... She's fighting dirty, boy. But don't let her get you down. Don't be like Mac, scared of his own shadow. You stand up and fight back.
Well, if you don't mind, Grandpa, I'd rather not hear any more talking right now.
You mad at me?
No. I ain't mad. I'm just tired, and that's all. Good night, Grandpa.
Good night, Luke.
Hi there.
Hello.
Where are you going?
I'm going to get some water.
Oh, did you enjoy yourself this evening?
Oh, yes.
Me too. We played cards, you know. Poker.
Oh.
How's the movies?
Just fine. Boris Karloff.
Yeah, he's always a sketch. Well?
Good night.
Luke, I gotta talk to you.
What about?
You know how I used to tell you how I run your grandma?
Yeah.
Hogwash. Just plain old hogwash.
Hogwash?
The truth of the matter is, I only run it part-time. The rest of the time it was vice versa. In fact, most of the time it was vice versa. You know what?
What?
I liked it. I guess it's because I loved her so. Kate's a fine girl, Luke, and don't let no yapping old man spoil nothing for you. Just because he misses being a puppy dog himself. What are you waiting for?
I ain't been invited.
Well, of all the fool jackass things I ever seen.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Good night, Kate.
Good night.
Oh, sorry, sugar, babe. Hey, look, you want to take a little ride into town, do some bowling, maybe?
No, I can't, Grandpa.
Oh, come on, bowling's a good place, a lot of fun.
No, I gotta help Kate with the dishes.
I can manage alone, Luke. Now you go along with Grandpa.
No, I promised to help you, and I'm going to help you.
You go run along. I can do it alone, honest.
No, I ain't the kind of fellow that lets his wife do all the work while he goes off to play.
Now you go have a good time. You need the recreation.
Well, all right.
You know, Luke, it takes a mighty fine girl to be that understanding.
You mean it takes a mighty smart fellow to be able to get out of the house whenever he wants to just by breaking a few dishes?
You're a real McCoy.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he may take Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Oh, Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Hey, little Luke, come on in the house. It's time for the meeting. Come on, go up and sit down. Come on. Hassie! Hassie, come on in, hon. It's time for the meeting.
Luke, what all is this here meeting about anyways?
All I know is Kate says time we had a family conference to straighten out a few things.
Well, I hope she gets a move on. Me and little Luke's got to dig some worms for going fishing in the morning.
Well, I gotta meet the kids down at the malt shop. Why did Kate have to pick tonight of all nights to have a silly meeting?
Never mind that. Just go up and sit down. Go on.
No telling why that woman does anything. I hate to say this, Luke, but that wife of yours is just getting just a mite too big for her britches. And she can...
Yeah. We're all here, honey babe, just like you asked.
Good. Let's get started with the meeting then.
I suppose she'd want us to sing the national anthem like they do at them town meetings.
Now, the reason I thought we should have this meeting is because I think there are a few things
Hey,
that we
whatever
should...
you got to say, please hurry up and say it. I gotta meet the kids down at the malt shop. They got a whole bunch of new records.
Now, Hassie, that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. Ever since you learned to dance, that's all that's been on your mind. Now, Hassie, you've been spending too much time socializing and you've been neglecting your schoolwork.
That ain't so.
Oh? Well, I'd like you all to hear Hassie's report card for the last quarter. Mathematics, C. History, D. Geography, C. And English, F.
Well, I'm rightly proud of you, Hassie. F.
Grandpa, F happens to mean failing.
Oh, I thought it meant fine.
No. Besides having low marks in her studies, she got a low grade in enthusiasm.
Well, if she got such bad grades, how's she going to have any enthusiasm?
Hassie, from tonight on, you're going to stay home and do your studies until you catch up on your grades.
But it's Friday night. The kids are waiting for me.
Hassie, you got to stay home and do your homework.
Aren't you being a mite hard on Hassie?
Luke, Hassie has got to be disciplined. And so does little Luke.
Me?
Why, what'd he do?
Do? Well, I think maybe you ought to know that this morning the truant officer called me, and he was telling me that in the last 2 weeks, little Luke has played hooky from school twice.
Tarnation, what you do that for?
Well, you see, I found the secret fishing hole that nobody knows about.
That ain't no excuse. How many did you catch?
I got 9 of them in less than an hour.
See, that's a good spot. Maybe that's where we go tomorrow.
Grandpa, little Luke ain't going anywhere tomorrow.
Huh?
Now, Kate, tomorrow ain't no school day. We've been planning this for a week now. You can't break it up.
Grandpa, little Luke has got to be punished.
Well, can't you punish him after he showed me where the fishing hole is?
Grandpa, you're no help at all. All you do is set a bad example for the boy.
Bad example? How so?
Lots of ways. Now, just what have you taught little Luke? You taught him how to sit around a fishing hole and how to pitch horseshoes and how to use his fists for fighting instead of writing. But did you ever teach him how important books is?
If I told him once, I told him 1,000 times. If the other kid's bigger than he is, throw a book at him.
Now, Grandpa, that's exactly what I mean. Now, honey, from now on, you got to stay in and do your studying. And little Luke, no more playing hooky from school. And no more fishing until I say you can. And, Grandpa, I wish you would please try to start setting a good example for the kids. Here?
You hear? Now, just a minute, Miss High-and-Mighty. Let me tell you...
Grandpa, don't get your dander up.
I can get my dander up. It feels to me she's got a lot to say for someone that ain't a real McCoy.
She is so a McCoy. She become one when I married her.
What are you talking about? It takes more than a fistful of rice and a wedding license to make a real McCoy.
Yeah, now, Kate's only doing what's right, and you know it.
Now, let's not start raising our voices.
Well, how am I going to argue if I don't raise my voice? Now, you got no call to find fault with Kate because she's been doing a mighty fine job raising them kids, and we're just lucky to have
ever. Lucky? What are you talking about, Lucky? Why, we was doing all right before we let her come in the family. We do all right now.
Now, that's no way to talk.
Well, that's the way I talk, right straight and out.
Yeah, well, now listen here, Grandpa. I'll tell you something.
Just a minute. I was only doing what I thought was right. But maybe what your grandpa says is so. Maybe you did get along better before I came.
You're right, we did.
And maybe you can just learn to get along without me again.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that from now on, I'm having nothing to do with the raising of little Luke and Hassie. I do the cooking and the housework, and that's all.
You can't do that.
Now, don't you think I can? From now on, the kids is Grandpa's charge. He can raise them.
Now, honey, don't be mad. I'm on your side. Oh, if I got to sleep on the couch tonight, I'm holding you responsible.
Well, why not? Who's more fitting to raise a couple of McCoys than a real McCoy?
Oh, Grandpa! Goody for Grandpa!
Hold on. Just because I'm running things, don't think you're going to get away with nothing. You got to toe that line, both of you. Remember that.
Oh, sure, Grandpa. We will. Don't. Absolutely. Grandpa, what about going to the fishing hole tomorrow?
Well, Kate was right about that. You got to be punished.
Well, yeah, but how are you going to find that fishing hole without me?
I never thought of that. I'll figure out some way to punish you. Bend over.
Oh, no, Grandpa.
I can figure you was punished.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Grandpa, what about me going to the mall shop tonight?
Well, you're going to be punished, too.
Okay.
I'll think of some other way of punishing you.
Like what?
Well, I can't think right now, and you close in on me. Why don't you run along? Give me a chance to think.
Thank you, Grandpa. I like being raised by you.
I do, too, Grandpa.
Books. Can't go to school without your books.
Thanks, Grandpa.
It's all right. Now go on now.
Okay.
Ashley.
Grandpa, you're still up.
Well, when I seen you wasn't home, I figured I'd better wait up for you. What do you mean staying out past 10:30 o'clock? Where you been?
I was at the library with Betty Daniels. Honest. See, I even took out some books.
I don't care nothing about the books. I just figured that 10:30's pretty late for a girl of your age to be out. Is that where you been the last few nights, the library?
Yes, Grandpa. Are you going to punish me?
No, I ain't going to punish you. Ain't nothing terrible about going to the library. Only is, I don't like to see you stay out so late. From now on, you leave there early enough so as you get home at a fair hour. You understand?
Yes, Grandpa. I'm sorry.
Well, let's get to bed now. I lost so much sleep already that if I end up by dawn to milk them cows, they might start without me.
Hello?
Are you Mrs. McCoy?
Yes, I am.
Well, I'm Mrs. Daniels. And I want to talk to you about your daughter, Hassie.
Oh, well, Hassie is my daughter, Mrs. Daniels.
Oh?
If you want to talk to anybody about Hassie, you better talk to Grandpa. He's raising her now.
Oh, he is, huh? Well, he's certainly doing a mighty poor job.
What's going on here?
Just this. Your Hassie's being a very bad influence on my daughter, Betty, and I want it stopped.
Well, ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you happen to know how many nights this week they've been out till after 10? Or don't you bother to keep track?
Of course I keep track. What kind of a man do you think I am? I know she's been out till after 10, but with good reason. She's been studying at the library.
For your information, the library closes at 9. I found them at the malt shop, playing the jukebox and dancing.
Why, it can't be. She never said nothing to me about no malt shop.
Naturally, she wouldn't.
This can't be possible. Saying nothing about it's just like lying to me. Hassie wouldn't do that, would she? You know, I think you're just making this up to cause trouble. Now, you get off my property before I forget I'm a gentleman.
You let me go. Let me go. My grandma's gonna get you. I'm gonna kill my grandpa.
Tell me what?
Mr. McCoy, I'm Mr. Bixby, the truant officer. I just caught your boy fishing down at the creek.
Fishing?
And I may add it's the third unexcused absence this week.
Is this true, son?
I've been down to the new fishing hole.
You told me you was going to school every day.
And look at this last one I caught. Ain't it a whopper?
You lied to me, son. Now, you go on, get in the house.
But Grandpa!
Get!
Grandpa! Yes.
Mr. McCoy, that boy needs discipline. Now, if you don't think you can handle it, we will.
I can handle him all right.
Yeah, I hope so. Good day.
Good day. Hey, Miss Daniels. I reckon I owe you an apology. I know Hassie was lying, but I just didn't want to let myself believe it. I'm sorry. You won't get no more trouble from her.
Thank you.
Now, Grandpa, don't do nothing you'll be sorry for. You better cool off.
I'm cool. I just want to talk to the boy, that's all. Tell him what's right and what's wrong and what's expected of him. Just going to reason with him. And Kate, I wouldn't set no place for him at the table, because when I get through reasoning with him, I don't reckon he's going to be able to set himself down. Mad. Done mad. I'd give you a licking like I gave little Loco when you're so growed up.
You're lucky. How many more years do I have to go, Grandpa?
You got a long time to go, and you better not get out of line, neither of you.
I still don't see what's wrong about dancing at the malt shop.
There ain't nothing wrong with dancing. It's a line that hurts. It's my own fault. Been too easy with you. But from now on, it's going to be different. I'm going to sit on you two kids like a mother hen sits on a baby chicks.
Sitting's better than hitting.
And there's going to be plenty of hitting if it's needed. There's going to be no more of this fooling around. You're going to study hard in school, and you're going to work hard to home. And no more playing.
Do we get time off on good behavior?
You're starting new ways right now. You take them books and you bury your nose in them. And you just be sure that you know every word by heart. And no skipping the pages, neither. Because when I come back, I'm going to ask the questions, and you better have the answers.
But, Grandpa, you can't read these books. What kind of questions you gonna ask?
You'll never find. You just have the answers. I ain't giving no hints.
There. And all finished, Grandpa. See?
What's them squares for?
Well, they're for the answers.
Well, how come you only filled in half of them?
Well, they're true and false. You're only supposed to mark one square for each question.
Yeah? Well, you fill them all in. You ain't getting away with nothing here.
Grandpa.
I finished cleaning your room like you told me. Am I through now?
Not by a long shot, you ain't. You go out and help little Luke whitewash that fence.
Grandpa!
And when you get through with that, you curry the mule, feed them chickens, and slop them hogs. I'll make a lady out of you yet.
Little Luke. I'm sorry, Hassie. I'm so tired I can hardly lift my arms.
Well, I'm tired, too, but you better get that done. Grandpa wants it over with in an hour.
How'd we get into this anyways?
How did we get into this? Remember, you was the one that says when it comes to raising kids, you can't beat grandpas.
Boy, did I boot. Uh-oh, here comes Grandpa. Better get to work. Come on, Hassie, get to work.
what are you two kids doing out here? You finished your lessons?
Yes, Grandpa. We want to have a meeting with you.
Well, go ahead. Get it off your mind.
Well,
come on, Hansie. Tell him out and out.
You tell me what?
Well, Grandpa, we was thinking that maybe it isn't fair for you to be raising us. I mean, with all your work, and we don't want to take up all your time.
Oh, not taking up my time. I'm having a lot of fun raising you. That is, after I got into the swing of it.
Yeah, you sure got the swing all right.
Grandpa, we thought that maybe Kate felt kind of bad. You know, you raising us instead of her.
What are you two driving at?
Well, we wanted to know if you'd ask her if she'd take us back again.
Oh, I see. You mean you don't want me to take care of you no more?
Oh, yes, Grandpa, we want you.
We do?
Yeah, you want me when I'm easy with you and you get away with things, but as soon as I start stomping on you, and they start squealing like a couple of little pigs. Well, if you think I'm going to Kate and begging her to take you back again, you got another thing coming. You go to Kate and you tell her you don't want to be raised by no McCoy. Tell her you hate me. Tell her anything.
Oh, Grandpa.
If you'd rather have Kate raised in your own flesh and blood, well, that's all right with me.
Come on, Hans, let's go. Come on.
Grandpa, we ain't aiming to hurt your feelings.
You ain't hurting my feelings at all. 'Cause I feel fine. Just fine.
You know what, Hans? It ain't easy firing a boss.
You're really sure this is what you want, for me to take charge again?
Yes, Kate.
But things has got to be different. You got to behave from now on. You got to do everything I say.
We promise, Kate. You're the boss.
Now, hold on a minute. I got something to say. You ought to be sick with shame for what you're doing, the both of you.
What are we doing?
We ain't doing nothing.
Oh, sure you ain't doing nothing. No, you ain't doing nothing but breaking Grandpa's heart. That's what you're doing.
You know, I think what Luke's saying may be right. We got no call to treat Grandpa like he was some old shoe to be tossed aside. If I thought for a minute you coming back to me would make him upset, I just feel terrible. Luke, do you really think it's going to bother him that much?
I don't think it. I know it. Why, he don't show... Grandpa. Grandpa, what's that?
Well, what's it look like? It's my suitcase.
Well, what you need a suitcase for?
What's a man usually need a suitcase for?
Now, do you believe me? He's hurt. And he's leaving.
Just on account of us?
That's right. Oh, sure, he acts tough on the outside. But inside, he's gentle as a newborn lamb. He's got feelings just like anybody else. He's got more than most. You remember that time back home when them revenuers smashed that still that he built with his own two hands? Well, he sat down and he cried like a baby.
We ain't revenuers.
You kids got any idea how it is to be an old man? Feel that nobody needs you anymore? Well, when he started taking care of you kids, it gave him something to hang on to. It gave his life a whole new meaning. Well, now you're gone, you took that away from him.
I'm sorry, Kate, but I guess we're going to have to go back to Grandpa.
Yeah, Kate, it ain't that we don't love you. We just want Grandpa to stay.
I understand.
Grandpa, please stay. We want you to raise us.
Yeah, we don't want Kate to raise us. We want you. Always.
What are you talking about?
Well, Grandpa, we realized how much you need us, and we want to give you something to hang on to.
Yeah, and give your life a new meaning.
I don't understand.
Well, it's simple, Grandpa. The kids is trying to say they love you. They want you to stay with them.
You mean after the way I was driving, you still want to stay with me?
Yeah, Grandpa. Yeah. We sure do, Grandpa.
You're their grandpa. Nobody can take your place. You're the most important member of this here family.
Oh, just a minute now, honey. I've been doing some thinking on my own the last couple of days, and I think everybody in this family is important. It's something I want to tell you. I'm ashamed of the way I treated you. You.
Oh, Grandpa, you haven't...
Yes, I have. I've been giving you a hard time. And worst, I said you wasn't one of us. But what I've been through the past few days, come to know how much you mean to this family and how much of a job you got. And Kate, I'm going to eat my words. You're a real McCoy.
Oh, Grandpa.
Well, now that everything's fine again, Grandpa, let me have your bag. I'll put it back in the room. Grandpa, it's empty.
Sure it's empty.
Well, I thought you was packing.
No, I was unpacking.
Unpacking?
Sure. I'd packed the last 3 or 4 days, you know.
Well, I don't get it.
Well, what do you think it takes out of a fella my age to try to raise a couple of headings like that? What do you think I was driving them for? Why, they like to run me crazy. If they hadn't gone back to Kate, I do believe I'd have run away from home.
Starring Walter Brennan. Created by Irving Pincus. Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made from West Virginia, they came to stay in sunny California. Oh, Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Oh, that looks real nice, honey. Mrs. Webster didn't think I'd have time to make it. She sure is gonna be surprised.
leaving.
Oh, now, don't go. I want to talk to you and Luke. Hello, Hattie. Okay.
Won't you sit down?
Oh, no, thank you. No, I can't stay. I just came by to leave these pamphlets. Mr. McCoy, I believe you were about to give us your stand on women in politics.
Miss Webster, in the history of this great nation, there's been two big calamities. The first was the war between the states, and the second was that black day when some fool gave a woman a say in the running of the government.
You think that men run the world, but don't forget that behind every hero and every leader, you'll find a woman.
Well, what do you think comes behind horse thieves and drunkards? Grasshoppers? Right out of my head.
You two mind your manners?
Until you women do take over, us men's got a right to our opinions.
Your grandfather's right, Kate. As a matter of fact, I came by today to be sure that you and Luke cast your vote on election day, even though you will most likely vote against me.
Well, I'm afraid that's what would happen if we could vote.
Mr. McCoy, why can't you vote?
Well, we can't afford to pay the poll tax, and that was probably something thought up by a woman or a man with a woman behind her.
Poll tax? Why, there's no poll tax in this state.
Is that right? Hold on now. You sure about that?
Well, certainly. To vote in California, all you have to do is be over 21 and know how to read.
Might have noticed, huh, Grandpa?
Learn to read.
What do you mean, learn to read? You think you're talking to a couple of jackasses or something? What's the matter with you?
You people come from a section of the country where sometimes schooling is hard to come by.
It wasn't so hard, but what we got our share.
Well, then you will be voting on election day.
Now, maybe it will and maybe it won't.
You know, with answers like that, Mr. McCoy, you ought to be in politics yourself. Well, I've got to be going. I'll see you girls at the town hall Tuesday night, won't I?
Oh, Ginger, I plumb forgot. Look at what I made for you, Mrs. Webster.
Why, Hassie, how nice. Why, that's beautiful printing. Isn't that Mr. McCoy?
This nice print.
Yes, indeed. By the way, Mr. McCoy, I'm reading a very good book about women in politics. When I'm finished with it, I'll let you read it. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, Mr. President.
Grandpa, why'd you have to go tell her you could read?
You shouldn't have done that. She's only going to find out.
What are you talking about? I can read. You're looking at me. Salt. Rice. Candy.
Why don't you simmer down, Grandpa? You can't read for sour apples, and we know it.
Grandpa, don't you worry none. You're going to be voting in that election because Haskins going to learn you how to read.
No, I ain't.
Why not?
I don't believe in it. It ain't natural.
Don't be so pig-headed.
Good Lord meant for us to read. We've been born knowing how. Now leave me be. Cucumbers.
What are you fighting it for, Grandpa? Learning how to read ain't going to do you no harm.
Think how proud you'd be voting in that election, Grandpa.
Yeah. Who wants to vote in a state that's so ignorant they ain't got no poll tax?
Now, don't be making up no hogwash.
Oh, it's easy for you to talk, Luke. How'd you like to have to learn to read?
Why, well, Grandpa Luke's going to be learning right along with you.
I won't be learning. Now, hold on, Katie. You just said so.
Why, Luke, for you to just be brushing up, honest. Why, you went to school for a time before your pappy passed
I
on.
ain't got no time for no fooling around, Kate. I got me a ranch to look out for.
Now, Lukey, honey.
No, you can looky, honey. Me look cat's got pigs, but I ain't learning to read.
and 7/8. Melrose Hat Manufacturers Corporation, Los Angeles, California. It sure is fun to know how to read things. Planting directions. The background by turning earth to a depth of not less than 6 inches. Remove rocks before sitting. I wonder if I could grow me an enchilada tree if I was to plant me a Mexican. You know, I think you better start minding your own business. Can I give you a hand with that, sugar babe?
No, thank you. If I need any help at all, I'll ask Peppino to help me.
Women just go crazy for a man that knows how to read.
Peppino,
Shut up.
that ain't all.
Get out of here right away.
That's it.
That's it. T-H-A-T-S-I-T.
Well, Lukey boy, how's everything going?
Oh, look out, Grandpa.
Why all the moaning and groaning?
Oh, you'd be moaning and groaning too if you was a 6'2" fella that spent the night on a 5'8" sofa.
Oh, she got you on the soapy. Well, anyways, the main thing, you didn't give in.
Unless I learn me how to read, she's gonna treat me like a dead polecat. She won't even talk to me.
Well, now, wait a minute. You don't have to talk to her. I'll talk to you. Just tell me what you want me to say.
Well, Grandpa, maybe reading wouldn't be so... No, I was just thinking you're waiting. No, I ain't. Don't
Breaking up faster than a soda cracker and a chowder.
No, Grandpa.
Now, look, Luke. This is a war. And that's the enemy. She's using the oldest weapon there is. Delilah used it against Samson. Cleopatra used it against that fellow over in Egypt. And that Marilyn Monroe, she used it against everybody. There's only one way you can whip it. And that's willpower and cold water. Right there. The thing of it is, you gotta make up your mind whether you want to be a man or a husband.
You're right, Grandpa. I ain't gonna let her beat me.
Right.
of the town maintenance. Doesn't he know his civic duties? Oh, Grandpa, why don't you let me learn you how to read? I won't make it so hard on you. I'll take it nice and slow so as not to strain your head. All you have to read is just a little bit of the Constitution of the United States.
I swear, if you don't leave me be, I'll move out to the barn. Now, Kate, come here. Explain yourself. Explain me. You told me C-O-U. Of course I ain't taking no lesson, can't you see?
I'm gonna read you a story now.
Oh, everybody's reading. Reading, everybody's reading.
Now listen, Grandpa. On the edge of a small clearing near a great forest, there lived a poor woodcutter and his wife and 2 children, Hansel and Gretel.
Where'd you learn to read that good?
I ain't reading, Grandpa. I fooled ya.
You ain't reading?
Heck no. I know the story by heart from hearing Hansie reading it to me.
Well, don't that beat all? Not by heart, but just having it read to you, huh? Yeah. Might work at that.
What might work, Grandpa?
Little Lou, Grandpa's going to give you the best present you ever got, but I can't tell you what for. Well, listen hard now, and I'll tell you again. All I gotta do to pass this test is to read what they call the preamble to the Constitution. And what I want you to do is just read it to me over and over and over again, so that I know every word by heart. Then I can make out like I was reading, you understand?
Yes, and I wish I did not.
What's the matter with you, Peppino?
I just don't like the sound of this idea, Grandpa.
Will you listen to me?
I am trying to listen to you, and I cannot hear you on account of the other fellow.
What other fella?
The one up here in my head. He's saying Pepino Garcia for playing tricks to the government of the United States. We are going to send you back to Mexico in 2 pieces.
This ain't nothing against the law. This is just like a harmless little joke.
Are you sure we will not be laughing in jail?
No. Nobody's gonna know how it happened. We'll do it right here. Nobody see us, nobody
ourselves and our posterity do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Good enough, Mr. McCoy.
Grandfather of yours tonight, is there?
No, I'm afraid not, Miss Webster.
He tried so hard to learn how to read.
I guess there just wasn't enough time.
Hello there, George. You too, Fred.
Grandpa!
What are you doing here?
I come to read the preamble to the Constitution just like you done.
But you told me you hit his hard cider.
Webster, how you feeling?
Well, I'm fine. Mr. McCoy, this is Miss Small.
Howdy, Miss Small.
How do you do? Would you folks mind waiting outside?
Miss Webster, would you like to stay and hear me?
All right, Mr. McCoy, thanks.
Get out that old preamble. I'll sail through that like a hot knife to soft butter. Well, where's it at? How do you want it? Standing or sitting?
Didn't you read the sign, Mr. McCoy?
Oh! You don't have to worry about me. I didn't figure on smoking no how. How'd you want me to read this? Fast, slow, or medium?
I know you'll find it hard to believe, Mr. McCoy, but from time to time, we find dishonest people trying to get around our reading law by memorizing the preamble.
Kind of a sick mind to think of a thing like that.
Mostly people who don't understand how important the right to vote really is.
They just don't realize what our forefathers sacrificed to secure that right for us.
Well, Miss Small, Mr. McCoy understands the importance of the right to vote. We don't have to worry about him. Now, go on, Mr.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, Ezekiel Phineas McCoy.
What did you say?
That was my great, great, great grandpappy. He fought with George Washington. Honest Zeke, they called him. Ensure domestic.
Go on, Mr. McCoy.
I can't.
Why not, Mr. McCoy?
I can't read as good as I thought I could. As a matter of fact, I can't read it at all. I can't read it at all. You know this, ma'am, and you was going to leave me get away with it, wasn't you?
Well, I knew if I showed you what you were doing, you couldn't go through with it.
You're a square shooter, man.
Well, coming from you, Mr. McCoy, I'm flattered.
But when it comes to politics, there's a few things I can straighten you out on, maybe get you a few votes. It is if you forget that female thinking you had in that speech you on the other night.
Well, I'd be grateful for any suggestions, Mr. McCoy.
Well, I'd be glad to do it. You women's gonna run the government. This is up to us men to see that you don't ruin it for us. I'll see you later. Bye, Miss Small. Thanks.
Goodbye, Mr. McCoy. You're welcome.
Grandpa? Grandpa, did you take it?
I take what?
The reading test.
What reading test? You know I can't read. What you been doing? Hitting the hard side or something? Grandpa, you said you was going in there. Tell me what I said, Luke. I ain't got no time to go fooling around. I got a lot of work to do.
What kind of work?
I got some new ideas from Miss Webster's campaign. I gotta get home and get going on it. And as you come along, you do the right and I'll do the thing.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Stop!
Oh, what's the matter, Grandpa? This is Florrie's place. You know I stop off here every Sunday after church?
Oh, I'm sorry, Grandpa. I plumb forgot.
What are you trying to do, steer me away from Florrie's fried chicken?
Grandpa, ain't you ashamed to talk?
For what?
For imposing on Florrie. Make her stay in her kitchen every Sunday and cook you fried chicken. What do you do for her?
I eat it.
What Kate means, Grandpa, is what do you do after you eat?
Sat. What are you supposed to do after you eat a big meal?
Florrie might like you to take her out to dinner some Sunday.
You two out of your head. There ain't none of them restaurants in town can make fried chicken like Florrie. You don't know Florrie. She likes for me to come over there on Sunday. I put a little sunshine into her life. She puts a little victuals into mine. Now, if you two are through asking a lot of silly questions, I'll be on my way to my fried chicken.
How long you figure he can get away with just having her feed him every Sunday?
Oh, it's hard to tell. You know how us McCoys got us away with women.
God-darned apple tree. Yes? Who are you? Ain't this Florrie McMichael's house?
Oh, Amos, come right in. Amos, I want you to meet Henry Baldwin.
Come to see your brother, did he?
Why, no, George is out of town. Henry's one of my oldest and dearest friends.
How do you do?
Old friend, huh?
Yes. Flora and I have been friends for many years.
Oh, Henry.
Just passing through, going someplace else, was you?
Why, Henry's having Sunday dinner with us.
And looking forward to it, too. Flora's just about the best cook in the county. But I guess you know that by now, eh, McCoy?
Yeah, I hope she get plenty of fried chicken. I'm starved.
Oh, we're not having fried chicken.
Not having fried chicken? This is Sunday, ain't it?
Yes, but we're having pot roast. It's Henry's favorite.
Well, I guess it's all right, but I had my taster all set for fried chicken and pumpkin pie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Amos. We're having pot roast and apple pie.
Apple pie?
That's one of my favorites.
Well, come on, boys. We might as well sit down. You sit over there, Dinky.
Dinky?
Just a fond nickname when we were young. I was Dinky, and she was Flora Bird.
Flora Bird?
Yes. Come on now, boys. Let's eat.
All of a sudden, I ain't hungry no more.
Amos McCoy not hungry? Come on now, let's not be silly. Here, I'll take your hat. Why, Amos, what happened to your hat?
It's that danged apple tree of yours, Florrie. Them branches hanging over the wall. I warned you about it. You got a good mind to chop them off.
Amos McCoy, that's my tree.
But the branches is hanging over my side of the wall.
Well, I don't care. It's still my tree.
Well, if them branches is hanging on my property, I got a right to chop them off.
You certainly have not.
If it's her tree, you must ask her permission before you do anything.
I ain't asking you, Dinky.
Amos, Henry is a guest in my house, same as you.
Well, he ain't same as me, because I'm going.
But we haven't had dinner yet.
Well, you eat it. I don't like pot roast, and I don't like apple pie, especially when the apples comes off of trees and knocks people's hats off. Nothing, just an accident, that's all.
My wall, it's ruined. Oh, Amos, how could you do such a thing?
Joe, woman, I just got through telling you it was an accident. It's an act of fate, pure and simple. You stand there talking like I done it a purpose.
Well, not that exactly, but...
Seems to me you're worrying more about a wall than you are about a fellow human being who might have been hurt.
Oh, Amos, I'm sorry. Are you hurt?
Oh, nothing more than a broken hip.
A broken hip?
It's all your fault anyway. Them gorgon branches off your apple tree knocked me off the tractor and set her out of control.
Oh, Amos, I'm sorry. I didn't realize What's that?
What's what?
There, lying on the ground.
Well, it ain't nothing.
Why, it looks like a saw. It is a saw. And what happened to your broken hip?
What happened? Oh!
Stop faking now, Amos McCoy, and tell me what you're doing in the field with a saw.
Oh, I need it for the wheat around here. Some of it's mighty delicate. It has to be hand cut. Got to treat every stem like it was a pussy willow.
So that's what happened. You were going to cut down my apple tree, even after you knew you had no right to touch it without my permission. Dinky and I warned you.
Oh, I might have known Dinky'd jump out of the bushes around here somewhere.
Dinky has nothing to do with it. Amos, you owe me an apology for what you've done.
I owe you an apology. You owe me an apology. The whole thing started you having the apple tree there in the first place. Now, if it's sweet words you want, ma'am, you get them from Dinky. Because it's going to be a frosty morning in July before you get your apology out of me.
Gee, wow, I have just seen the wall. Senor Grandpa, when you wreck something, you don't fool around.
Yeah, I banged into it pretty hard, didn't I?
Woo! Grandpa, what are you going to do about that wall?
I ain't going to do nothing about it. I said that part of it was an accident.
Grandpa, all Florrie wanted you to do was apologize. I think that's the least you could have done.
Oh, you do, huh?
Are you willing to ruin a real good friendship?
I ain't ruining no friendship. I'm just setting things straight, that's all. When Florrie starts thinking about this, she'll realize what she's losing, and she comes scratching around, trying to get me again.
Senor Grandpa's right. Whenever I leave my Conchita alone, she always comes scratching. Look at the scars.
I bet Miss McMichael won't ever come to this house again.
Better not bet no money on that, Hansie. Look, she just drove off.
There, you hear that? She thought about it, and she's sorry.
You kids go on to your room and do your homework.
Well, if it ain't Florrie McMichael. Well, come in. How do you do?
Hello, Kate, Luke.
Howdy, Florrie.
Hi.
Say, why don't you two sit down there and me and Florrie sit over here in the sofa where it'd be more comfy, Florrie?
Thank you.
Sit yourself right down there.
Thank you.
Florrie, I'm going to make it real easy on you. I accept your apology.
You do?
And I want you to know I don't feel no hard feelings against you at all.
Don't you?
I forgive you because you're a woman, you don't know no better.
I see.
And the way I feel about it, why, it's all done, it's over. I forgot it already.
Have you?
To prove it, there's my hand on it. Oh, Florrie. You didn't have to write no apology. Besides, you know I can't read.
Let Luke read it.
Luke. Read it to me, would you? How does it start off? Dear Amos, darling Amos, or how?
You are hereby ordered to appear in court to show cause why you should not be. I thought this ain't no love letter. It's a summons.
A summons?
Grandpa, you're being sued.
Sued? What's the meaning of this, Florrie?
I'm sorry, Kate, Luke, but I have no choice. Your grandfather ruined my stone wall, and I'm demanding that he either pay for it or repair it.
You're demanding?
I asked your grandfather for an apology, but he's too stubborn, too bull-headed to admit he's ever in the wrong. And so now, Amos, I'm taking legal action. And Dinky's, Henry says that I'm well within my rights.
Dinky? He pops up more than a gopher in the alfalfa patch. The trouble with Dinky is...
Now, hold on, everybody. Just simmer down. Grandpa Flora's right. If all she asks is to repair her wall, there ain't no need to go to court. Between you and me and Peppino, we can fix that wall easy.
Would that satisfy you, Florrie?
Well, of course, Luke.
Well, I ain't satisfied. I ain't repairing no wall.
Now, Grandpa, we're willing to help you.
You mind your own business, and if you think you're going to bamboozle Miss McCoy, then you got another thing coming. If you want to fight, you got to fight in your hands. Remember, I got a side to this story, too.
Grandpa, Florrie's a friend of ours. We don't need to fight with her.
Now, Kate, look, you listen to me. This is my business, and I don't want nobody butting in about it. And you, I'll see you in court, Florrie Bird.
Well, Amos. I'm sorry.
So are we, Florrie.
Yeah, bye, Florrie.
Bye.
The court will please rise for His Honor, the judge.
Your Honor, Mr. McCoy ran his tractor through my wall, and he knocked the stones 40 ways to Sunday. And that's just about all there is to it.
Well, that seems to sum it up. You may step down, Flora. Miss McMichael.
What do you mean, sums it up? You ain't heard my side of it yet.
That's what we're going to do right now, Mr. McCoy. Take the stand, please.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I got my hand in the book, ain't I? Of course you do.
Now, Mr. McCoy, let us hear your version of what happened.
Well, the whole thing never would have happened if it weren't for the gall-turned apple tree. You see, I was standing up on my tractor, torn off the limbs. My foot slipped and hit the gear shift, and off she went.
Now, let me understand this. You were standing on your tractor, cutting limbs off your apple tree.
No, it was her apple tree.
Ah, that puts a whole new light on the case.
Well, it's about time.
It seems to me, Mr. McCoy, that you're guilty of a double offense.
Guilty of a double offense?
That's right. Miss McMichael, do you wish to amend your complaint to include damages to your tree?
Oh, no, Your Honor. The apples can grow back. I'm only interested in having the wall repaired.
Very well. Mr. McCoy, it is a judgment of this court that within the week you either pay Miss McMichael $50 for damages to her wall or repair the wall yourself. Next case.
Now, just a minute. Now.
I said next case.
Now, look, you see here.
Bailiff, will you see that the defendant leaves the courtroom quietly?
I'm going. Dinky.
Grandpa, did you give him what for? I bet you showed him, I bet you. How do you feel?
I feel like a cow that's been in the hands of a frostbit farmer.
Little Luke, you run along to your room and get your study.
Yeah, and study real hard, son, because someday you may grow up to be a crooked judge. Well, that's so, ain't it? That wasn't no court of law. That was a roping contest, and I was the calf. Well, no use crying about it. Nothing like knowing when you licked.
Grandpa, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going to get the money out of this jar here and pay that $50.
Grandpa, that money belongs to all of us. We all of us worked pretty hard for it, and we agreed to save it for something useful.
I know, but... See, I believe you're right at that. Why should we give them the pleasure of seeing us pay off on our hard-earned money here? And the wall probably ain't worth half that much. I know what we'll do. We'll build a wall ourselves. Me, you, and Peppino. Why, we can slap a wall up there in no time, right?
Wrong. Grandpa, when this all started, we asked you to apologize to Florrie and end it right there. And when you wouldn't do it, we offered to help you fix the wall. But you snapped at us and you told us to stay out of your business.
Oh, my own kith and kin turned on me now. But all right. If you want to stay here and look out that window, see a poor old man working all by himself in the hot sun, a sweating and a straining, then so be it. The thing that hurts the most is that Florrie started all this. And I was so loyal to her, too. Never at no time did I ever take fried chicken from any other woman. I thought she liked me. Well, I could sweet-talk her into most anything. Yeah. Yeah.
Grandpa, where are you going?
I'm going out to settle this by myself like I said I would. Since when does Amos McCoy need anybody to help with his affairs? Not so long as the old McCoy brain is still clicking. Good afternoon, Florrie.
Amos.
These are for you.
Why, thank you, Amos. Will you come in?
Like to have a lemon drop? You know what they say, sweet's for the sweet.
Not just now, thank you.
Well, you help yourself anytime you want it. Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, I'm just surprised to see you here, Amos. I mean, after all that's happened and...
Oh, Florrie, what happened in that courtroom shouldn't have no effect on our friendship. You know that.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say so, Amos.
Well, I do say it, Florrie. You know, our friendship is too big to be busted up by one little squabble. And then again, I'd be kind of crazy to break off with the prettiest woman in the county.
Oh, Amos, you always were a flatterer.
Well, telling the truth ain't flattering. You know, Florrie, you're high class. First time I ever seen you, I says to myself, I said, now there's a woman that don't have to wait for a wedding to put on a stocking.
I think I will have a lemon drop. You know, Amos, I'm glad there's no bad feelings.
Of course there ain't no bad feelings. You know the way I feel about you, and hope you feel the same way about me.
Oh, I do, Amos. You know I do.
Florrie.
Yes, Amos?
I don't think there should be a wall separating me and you.
What a sweet thought.
So I guess I can just best forget about repairing it, huh?
Anything you say, Amos.
Good.
Because I'd just soon have the $50 anyway.
You expect me to pay you $50?
Well, of course I do. You know the court order. Repair the wall or pay $50. And all the sweet talk in the world isn't going to change it. Oh, here's a perfect place right under this tree.
Fine.
Why, there's Amos. You remember Amos, Dinky?
Of course. Hello, McCoy. You know, I can hardly wait.
Now, don't start that yet. Wait till the others come. Oh, here they come now. Yoo-hoo, over here.
Excuse me, Grandpa. Hi, Grandpa.
Buenos días, señor Grandpa.
Grandpa?
Howdy, Grandpa.
What's going on here?
Well, nothing, Grandpa. We're just having a neighborly picnic.
With them?
Well, why not? You're the one that's got the quarrel with Florrie. We're still friends.
Hurry up with that basket, Luke. I'm sure everybody's starved.
Coming, Kate. Well, I guess that's the way things is nowadays. Used to be times when families was close. And they stuck together through thick and thin. I guess the world ain't like that no more.
You reckon he's learned his lesson?
I'm sure he has.
Then what are we waiting for?
Grandpa, it'll take you forever doing it that way. What you need's a little system. Okay, everybody, let's line up and get this job done.
What's going on around here?
Nothing like work to whet your appetite for a picnic.
With all of us will be done in no time, Senor Grandpa.
Come on, Amos. The sooner we get it done, the sooner we can get to the fried chicken.
Fried chicken? What about him? I thought his favorite was pot roast.
It is, but fried chicken's yours, isn't it?
Oh, Florrie.
Yes, Amos.
I apologize. You know, Florrie Bird, you ain't only the prettiest girl in the county. You're the prettiest girl in the whole gall-darn state. You know, if you was 20 years younger, you could get your picture on the cover of a seed catalog.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Amen. Amen. I have several announcements to make. Next Tuesday night, here in Fellowship Hall, we shall have a distinguished guest lecture. Professor Ralph Murdoch, once doctor of psychology in Upland University. The professor will talk to us on a subject that I personally consider vitally important to all of you: the evils of gambling. He will show how even a seemingly innocent appearing game like penny ante poker can lead a man to despair and degradation. I'm looking forward to a large turnout for that most important lecture.
Hope he ain't got nothing against dominoes.
Only the galloping kind. Now, as some of you may or may not know, Emma Turnbull has had to relinquish her position on our fundraising committee. Mr. Turnbull's work has taken him north to San Francisco. I've been asked to select her successor. Now, if you'll all turn to page 27, we'll end our prayer meeting with hymn number 31.
Golly, would I like to get on that committee?
You would? Well, maybe I can fix it for you with the Reverend.
You just leave it to us, Kate.
Now, Grandpa, don't you or Luke say a thing.
Good night. Good night.
Night, Reverend.
Good night.
I'll be looking forward to attending that lecture next week.
We'll all be there.
Yeah. Reverend, wish when you was thinking about ladies for that committee, you'd sort of think of my granddaughter here.
Yeah, she'd sure like to get on it.
Yeah.
Grandpa.
Well, that's what you said. I heard you.
No, but you don't have to be so forward about it.
Well, why not, sugar?
Why, nobody ever got any place backing up. Reverend, if you'd pick Kate on the committee, I know she'd do her darndest.
And you know, if anybody can get money out of some of these old skin prints around here, Kate sure can do it.
Yes, I'm sure Mrs. McCoy would do a fine job.
Well, see there, did you hear that, honey? Say, Reverend, we'd all of us be honored if you and the missus would honor us with the privilege of your honor.
Oh, yeah, Reverend, shucks. What the boy's trying to say is we'd like to have you and Mrs. Reverend come over to supper Saturday night.
Well, I'm afraid Mrs. Berquist won't be here. You see, she's visiting her sister for a few days in Pomona. But I happen to be free that night.
Well, why don't you just come on by yourself?
Yeah, come on over. Bring your biggest appetite. Ain't going to be nothing fancy, but we're sure going to have enough of it.
Good night, Reverend.
Ain't it pretty, Luke, Grandpa? See? Real silver.
Silver? Where'd you get this?
Flora McMichaels. She let me borrow it so as we can make a good impression when the Reverend comes to dinner.
They should make a right smart impression, sugar.
Look what else she let me have. Her best tablecloth.
Her best? See, that's full of holes.
Grandpa, it's Spanish lace. That's the way it's made.
I can make you one of them with a shotgun and a bedsheet.
Good afternoon. My name is Leo Dunstetter. I represent the Full View Signboard Company.
That ain't a very big signboard.
That's my business card.
Oh.
Well, what is it, Grandpa?
Good afternoon. Leo Dunstetter, Full View Signboard Company.
Leo Dunstetter. Well, let me see your... Leo Dunstetter. Yeah, they both say the same thing. I reckon that's who he is.
Are you Mr. McCoy?
Yeah, but I ain't got no card to prove it. You have to take my word for it.
Well, may I come in for a moment? I'd like to talk a business proposition over with you.
Yeah. Watch yourself away, Luke.
This here's my wife, Kate. This is Mr.
Leo Dunstetter, Full View Signboard Company.
Now, what was this business proposition you wanted to talk about?
Well, Mr. McCoy, as I was driving by, I noticed your barn. It needs a paint job pretty badly, doesn't it?
Oh, barn painters, huh? Well, we ain't interested.
Now, just a minute, Mr. McCoy. You didn't let me finish.
You don't have to finish. Look, the day that it rains whitewash, that's the day we get the barn painted.
How would you like to have your barn painted absolutely free, without any cost to you whatsoever?
Well, that's the price we could pay, but what's the hitch?
Well, there's no hitch. Our company will give you a first-class paint job if you'll allow us to paint a sign on the roof.
Well, you mean an advertising sign?
Exactly.
Is that all there is to it?
That's all. That's all, Mr. McCoy.
I don't know, Grandpa. A sign on the barn roof. How's that going to look?
Well, it's going to look just like a sign on the barn roof. We seen 100 of them on the way here from West Virginia.
It sounds all right to me, honey.
It's all right to me, too. You know how much it costs to paint that barn? $200-300.
Well, maybe even more, judging from the condition it's in. Now, I have a little agreement here for you to sign.
Hey, looks legal, all right.
Oh, by the way, this paragraph here, you don't pay any attention to that. That refers to billboards. You see, it's been crossed out.
Oh, yeah, I seen that as soon as I took it.
Well, what do you say, Mr. McCoy? Any questions about the agreement?
Well, no, I guess not. Don't see no invisible writing on it. It's all right, but we never signs nothing unless we has a sort of a family meeting.
I understand. I'll wait out on the porch.
I don't know, Grandpa. What are people going to think? They're going to say we can't afford to paint our own roof.
Well, we can't.
Everybody doesn't have to know it.
Well, maybe Kate's right. It's sort of ain't dignified.
Will you listen to the king and the queen of Siam? Ain't dignified, he says, and him about to have the seat of his overalls to fall out. Is it more dignified to have the barn go without no paint, ain't all?
No, but...
Well, now, look, you better shake a few of the highfalutin ideas out of Her Majesty's head here, and quit your yapping and get this barn painted and get them papers signed.
Well, it appears to be what the man said.
You can come in now, Mr. Dunstetter.
Well, what did you decide?
Well, get your paint out. You got yourself a deal.
Fine. Just sign right there on the bottom line.
Wait a minute now. Yeah?
That's it.
You mind if you use your back?
No, go right ahead. Thank you. Congratulations.
Mighty pretty, Mr. Dunstetter, mighty pretty.
Oh, our men do first-class work. I think that sign looks real good up there, don't you?
Yeah. Sort of gives the barn something to say.
Yes, it does.
It says it nice and loud, too.
Oh, you'll be able to see that sign for miles. You know, just reading it makes me want to get up at that table. How about you?
Reading it makes me hungry, too.
Well, my men should be through in a little while. I'll be back in a couple hours to check up on the job.
Luke, what got into you?
I just wanted to let you out at the front door.
Oh, land's sakes, you nearly threw me out.
Yeah, well, come on, we better get these groceries in the house.
Luke, why you so jumpy?
No, I ain't jumpy. I just want to get
Well,
all
what
these
is the
groceries
matter
out. Come
with
on,
you?
honey, we better hurry up. Better hurry.
He's got you
No,
something to
well,
do.
the Reverend's coming to dinner now. And you've got a lot to do, so you better get in the house and get at it.
I've got lots of time. You won't be here till tonight.
No,
Luke.
but you don't want to put off everything till the last minute now, do you? Now, you just put all this stuff away. You stay in the house now. I'll bring in the rest of the groceries. No, you stay there.
Luke, have you seen the barn? Sure is pretty.
Not so loud, Grandpa. Kate ain't seen it yet.
What's the matter?
Do you know what the sign on our barn's advertising?
No, that's what I want to find out. What we're selling.
We're selling sin. That's what we're selling. That sign on our barn is advertising a gambling hall.
Gambling halls?
Do you know what the preacher thinks about gambling?
Luke, are you going to bring in them
Oh,
groceries?
no, I'll bring them in. You just
Well,
stay in the
let
house.
me help
No,
you.
I don't need no help. I don't need no help. Grandpa, help me. I don't need no help. No, I don't want you to strain yourself,
Well,
sugar. No,
let's just get
we
it
can't let
inside
Kate
the
see
house.
the barn now.
Acting like so. Luke, look at the barn. Gambling is best fit luck.
Now, don't get yourself all riled up, sugar.
You know how Reverend Berquist feels about gambling. What's he going to think of us?
How's the Reverend going to see it?
Is he going to miss it? That's so hard now. Everything's ruined.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know what sort of sign it's going to be.
Yeah, well, none of us knew, Grandpa. Maybe if we'd listened to Kate in the first place.
Well, now, wait a minute. What's more important, that we get the barn painted or Kate gets on some fool church committee?
Well, now, that committee's awful important to Kate.
Oh, that ain't what I asked you. I asked you what's most important.
Well, I'll leave that up to you, Grandpa. I'm going in and see how Kate's doing.
I'm going to ask you a question. I want an honest answer.
Oh, those are the only answers I ever answer with.
Well, what's the most important? That we get our barn painted or Kate gets on some darn fool church committee?
What do you think is more important, Senor Grandpa?
I think it's more important we get the barn painted.
Si, senor. I think it's more important, too.
You do, huh?
Absolutely.
Well, it ain't.
Well, I can only get 1 gallon, Senor Grandpa.
Yeah, that ought to be enough to cover that sign. Say, that's yellow paint. I told you to get red.
Well, I could not help it. I had to borrow whatever I could get for nothing.
A red barn with a yellow roof.
We'll have the most romantic barn in the whole valley.
Looks like a goddamn circus wagon. That's what it looks like.
Well, it's better than what it looks like now.
Well, come on, get up on the ladder.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, Senor Grandpa, this lie is very old, and the roof is very high, and the ground is very hard.
You know, if you don't quit arguing, get up on the ladder. I'll hold it for you.
Senor Grandpa, just remember, I'm carrying a lot of breakable things.
Like what?
Arms and legs.
Pino, if you don't quit talking back and get up on that ladder, you'll go up at the end of a pitchfork.
Well, hold on. This ladder is shaking like anything.
Oh, that ain't the ladder. That's you that shake. Come on, get down. Get down. Get down.
Grandpa, Pino, what are you doing?
Oh, we're going to fix that sign. That's what we're doing.
What, you mean you're going to paint over it?
Well, that's the general idea.
You can't do that.
Well, you want Kate to get on that church committee, don't you?
Well, sure I do.
Well, you got a better idea?
Hold ladder and hand that stuff up to me.
Here, who's that?
From the same board.
Hey, belly down up there. Keep catching it here. We'll show.
Just stop by to check to make sure the boys have finished.
Yeah, it was just fine. Everything's fine, yeah.
What's that ladder doing there?
Ladder? What ladder?
That ladder.
Ladder. Oh, that ladder. I don't know. Painters must have left it here. I never seen that ladder before.
Well, I'll send somebody by to pick it up. How do you like the sign?
Oh, I think it's just fine. Just fine.
Hey, who's up there?
Who's up where?
Right up there.
Up there. Oh, that's my grandson, Luke, with his big feet.
Howdy.
What are you doing up there?
Well, I was just looking at the sign.
Hey, he's a mite near sight.
Better get down from there. That paint's still wet.
Rightly nice of you to come around, show interest, and see everything's all right.
Not so sure about that. You people act like you're up to something.
No, what makes you say that?
What's this?
Well, that's paintbrush.
You always carry around a paintbrush?
Well, you see, I ain't got no fountain pen.
What you were trying to do? You were trying to paint over that sign. I've had trouble like that before.
Now, you listen here, mister. If we'd known what kind of sign he was going to put up there, we never agreed to it.
Well, you did agree, and I'm holding you to it. And if you ever try to paint that sign over again, I'm going to sue you for the cost of painting your barn plus damages. And just to make sure that you don't try it again, I'm going to be checking up on you from time to time.
Oh, it ain't no use, Grandpa.
Well, what are we going to do now, Grandpa?
Well, Peppino, we just got to think. Just think, that's all. How do you expect a man to think when you're staring at him like a hoot owl?
Well, Grandpa?
I've got it, Peppino, I've got it.
I knew you'd think of something.
Well, I didn't think about it before. This fixes everything.
What fixes everything?
We're going to burn down the barn. Don't tell me I can't burn it down. It's my barn. I can burn it down every day in the week if I want.
Yeah, but the man from the signboard company.
I ain't going to touch the sign. If it can't stand a little heat, that ain't my lookout.
Hey, I'm going to let you do it. Help somebody! Help! Somebody! You never want to set the barn on fire to get rid of the sign.
Hey, don't you tell me I can't do it. I can do anything I want. It's my barn.
Grandpa, you were going to do it for me.
Don't you get all soppy-eyed. Turn me loose.
You got it, Grandpa.
Hey, boy, what's this all about?
Luke, Grandpa wants to burn down the barn.
You stay out of this, Luke, now. I'm going to fix that sign once and for all.
No, Grandpa, you don't have to burn down the barn. I already took care of the sign. And I fixed it so the Reverend's going to like it now, too.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, come on, look for yourself. Come on. Look at there. Huh?
Some of the lettuce is missing.
No, I covered them up with some pieces of tar paper.
Oh, Luke, you're wonderful.
What's it say?
Gambling is a sin.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm sorry I'm late. I had a christening at 4:30 o'clock.
Well, that's all right, Reverend. Supper won't be ready for a little while yet anyways.
I couldn't help but notice your barn as I drove up. I didn't know that I had such devoted members in my congregation.
Well, we try to spread the word any way we can.
Yeah, we figured it's just a sort of a message to the folks driving by that ain't seen the light yet.
Yeah, well, come on in and sit down, Reverend.
Why don't you all go out on the porch and wait till supper's ready? It's kind of warm in here with the oven going.
Fine. This is my favorite time of day.
Yeah, well, why don't you say something about the fundraising committee?
Well, you can't just come right out and say it. You got to sort of wiggle into it.
Start wiggling.
We got to work it in the conversation sneaky like.
Set yourself down there, Reverend. Bill.
Yeah. Looks like a wind's coming up.
Yeah, sure does. Yeah, it's getting windy, all right.
Feels good, though.
Hey, feels real good. Don't it, Grandpa?
Speaking of fundraising committees, you picked a lady for that yet, Reverend?
Grandpa?
I ain't no wiggler. What's on my mind's on my tongue. Say, how about putting my granddaughter on that committee?
I'd be very pleased to have Kate on my committee. That is, if she's sure she wants to be on it.
Wants to? Why, Reverend, there ain't nothing she'd rather do.
I'm glad to hear that. I'd like to see Kate interested in church activities.
You know, back home in West Virginia, she once got a Bible for perfect attendance at Sunday school.
Kate's not the only McCoy I'm fond of. You've got a mighty fine family here, Amos.
I'm rightly proud of myself.
Grandpa, it's getting awful windy out here. Why don't we all go in the house?
Good. How about you, Reverend?
I'm very comfortable.
Yeah, well, Reverend, I think there's something the Reverend ought to see inside.
What?
Something he shouldn't ought to see out here.
What's wrong with you, Luke?
Well, there ain't nothing wrong with me. Nothing. I just think it's awful windy out here, and it's blowing things around and off the barn roof. I think we all ought to go inside the house. Now,
what is it, Pepito?
El viento está volando todo el cartón de techar del granero.
What?
El viento está volando todo el cartón de techar del granero.
Talk United States. I don't understand that lingo.
He's trying to tell you, Amos, that all the tar paper has been blown off the barn roof.
Holy
Gambling is best at Las Vegas Inn.
Supper's ready. I'm sorry I kept you waiting.
I'm sorry you kept us waiting, too.
Why, what's...
All my fault, Reverend. I let them put that sign up there. Kate didn't have nothing to do with it, ain't all.
It's just as much my fault as it is anybody's, Reverend. I guess that's what we get for trying to deceive you.
Would have been all right, too, if it wasn't for the god-darn wind.
Amos, perhaps that wind came for a purpose. To show you had nothing to hide.
Hide? Why, she'll never get on that committee now.
Why not?
Well, you know how the Reverend is. You know he... You like that, ain't you?
Amos, I try to judge a person by what's in his heart, not what's on his barn roof. And this certainly hasn't changed my opinion of Kate, or any of you.
It hasn't?
Well, after all, you couldn't turn down a free paint job. That wouldn't be good business.
Of course not.
And you had no idea what sort of sign it would be?
No idea at all.
Neither did I. I just knew I was getting my barn painted.
Reverend, you mean you got a sign on your barn roof, too?
A huge one.
Advertising a gambling hall?
The Whoopee Club. Best burlesque in the West.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Grandpa, you ain't even had your dessert yet.
Well, I ain't got time. George is waiting on me.
Oh, it wouldn't hurt if you was 5 minutes late one Thursday, would it? I mean, George can't start playing checkers without you.
I don't want to give him a chance to figure out the moves. Bye.
What he won't do to get in that checker game with George McMichael.
Yeah. I sure hope Judgment Day don't come on Thursday. I don't think Grandpa'd heed the call.
Oh, Amos, you old chicken wrangler.
You old pea-brained peach girl. You ready to take the licking of your life? Well, tonight you're going to be sorry you ever started playing checkers with me, I'll tell you that. Oh, howdy.
Oh, Amos, I want you to meet a friend of mine, Fred Baxter. Fred Amos McCoy.
Well, hello there, McCoy. Glad to know you.
Oh, boy, you sure thought of that one. Well, wasn't it funny?
Yeah, it was funny, but let's get to the checkies. Where's the board?
Oh, I thought we'd skip it tonight, Amos.
Well, this is Thursday, ain't it?
Yeah, but with Fred here, I thought we'd just sit around and swap stories. Oh, Fred. Whew, he's got some lulers. Fred, tell him the one you just told me.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead, tell him.
All right. Well, sir, it seems this horse goes into a bar.
A horse goes into a bar? It's funny already.
Yeah. Well, this horse goes into the bar, sits down on the stool, raps on the counter, and says to the bartender, "Give me a martini." Well, without winking an eye, the bartender gives him a martini, and the horse gulps it down and leaves. Well, the fellow sitting on the next stool calls the bartender over, and he says, "That horse ordering a martini, isn't that a bit unusual?" And the bartender says, "Sure is. He usually orders bourbon." What's the matter, friend? Don't you get it?
Yeah, I get it. What the is of it?
Don't you think it's funny, Amos?
What's funny about it? Don't even make sense. Who ever heard of a horse talking? And besides, they wouldn't leave a horse in the bar. You got to hitch him outside. And if they did leave him in, you know right well them bar stools are so darn small a horse could never set himself down on one.
It ain't supposed to make sense. That's the joke of it, isn't it? Sure.
Well, it's pretty feeble if you ask me.
Oh, well, now, if you don't like that one, I got a lot more. I'll tell you what I'll do. I got some good cigars out in the car. I'll bring 'em in, and we'll have a high old time. Yes, sir, Bob. Oh, say, by the way, I got one story I'm sure you like. It's all about Paris, France. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Paris, France. Ain't that Fred a caution, huh?
It's pitiful, just plain pitiful.
Now, wait a minute, Amos. You got to be nice to Fred. You know who he is?
No, who is he?
The membership chairman of the Loyal Order of the Mystic Nile.
And what in tarnation is that?
Only the biggest lodge in the valley. And Fred's the fellow that can get me in.
Oh, so that's why you're buttering up to that laughing hyena, is it? Well, you must want to get in awful bad.
And why shouldn't I? They're a swell bunch of fellers, Amos. They fancy costumes, dress up like Egyptians. And every other Thursday they get a meeting, and after the meeting there's poker, and all sorts of stuff.
Well, Thursday, that's no good for you. That's our checking night, ain't it?
Yeah, but there ain't no law says we gotta play checkers every Thursday. We could skip it sometimes, Amos.
We can, huh?
What, Amos? There's Fred. Get the cigar?
Yep, here they are, fresh off the boat from Havana. Yes, sir, Bob. There you are.
Sure smells expensive. Nothing but the best with Fred, you know. Just a minute. I got it, Fred. I got it, right?
Well,
Here, say, Fred, I was just telling Amos here about the Loyal Order of the Mystic Nile and what a fine lodge it is.
Yes, sir.
And Amos, you can always tell who belongs. They greet each other this way.
No, George. You got it wrong. It's like this.
That's it.
Can't you shake hands like Americans?
Well, don't you get it, Amos? It's a special greeting. It's the pyramid.
Yeah, that sign's the symbol of our lodge. That's the first thing we teach our sand fleas.
Sand fleas?
That's what they call the new members.
Yeah, you see, we take the names of our lower orders from the creatures of the desert. Therefore, we name the new ones that they... What's the matter? Don't you get it?
Yeah, I get it. Well, I'll see you later.
Now, Amos, just...
Oh, I got things to do. Well, I'm glad I met you. It was education.
Yeah, well...
Back in a minute. Amos. You gotta come back.
Why?
Well, it isn't just for me, it's for you, too. Don't you see, Amos? If I get in, then I'll work on them to get you in, too. You see?
Well, thanks. For nothing. I wouldn't join no Egyptian lodge with a bunch of clucks like that one in there. Why, they couldn't pay me to join one of them things. You go on, be a sand flea, but get away from me. I'm beginning to itch already.
But Amos...
Hi, George.
Hi, Pepino. Say, don't tell me you started playing without.
What are you doing here?
What do you mean, what am I doing here? Today's Saturday, ain't it? We get a date for horseshoes, ain't we?
I never expected you to remember it no more.
Why should I forget it? We always play horseshoes Saturday. And today I'm going to knock you right out of the pit, Buck.
Knock me out of the pit? Why, you sawed-off shrimp, you better not get in a horseshoe pit. You get yourself lost.
Who you calling a sawed-off shrimp, you blind owl, you?
It sure is nice to see them friends again.
Come on.
Amos, let's wait for Fred Baxter, huh? He ought to be here any minute.
Fred Baxter coming over here?
Yeah. I sort of asked him over.
You asked him over?
Yeah, well, the other night I happened to mention how we play horseshoes every Saturday, and he said he'd sure like to play, I sort of asked him over. You don't mind, do you, Amos?
No, I don't mind at all. You go right ahead. Play all the horseshoes you want to play with him. But you get your own horseshoes. Get your own peg, too.
Oh, Amos. There he is now.
Goddamn pig. He puts in the ground so hard.
Grandpa, stop acting like a spoiled kid running off just because you don't get your own way. What's wrong with playing somebody else?
Because I don't like the somebody else. And I don't like the somebody invited him neither.
Well, howdy. Hello, McCoy. Glad to see you again.
Hello there, mighty sphinxy Fred. I want you to meet some fine folks.
Oh.
This is Pepino, the ranch foreman, and Amos' grandson, Look.
Oh, look. How are you, Fred?
Well, we've been practicing up for you. Amos, let's make it a three-way deal and let Fred start off first.
Well, I don't mind if I do. Well, I hope I don't spoil your game. It's been a long time since I played.
You can't fool us. Amos, I'll bet he's just great. Well, you can see he's the wiry, athletic type.
He's a wiry type, all right. Needs wires to hold in that blubber.
Well, I can only do my best.
Hey, everybody, did you see that? Oh, what a sizzler.
Well, that wasn't my best.
I can believe that.
Well, I'm going to have a tough time topping you, but, I'll try.
Now, ain't that disgusting? Just throwed the game away just to butter him up.
You was just too good for me, Fred. Don't make it too good.
Why not? I ain't no sand flea.
Well, that wins it for you, McCoy. You're just too much for me.
Oh, now remember, Fred, you ain't played for a while, and look how you beat me. Oh, you get nothing to be ashamed of.
I know somebody that has.
I'll bet you after a few games you get your eye back and you'll beat Amos, too.
I don't know about that.
Well, I do. He couldn't beat me the best day I ever lived. There's no offense to you, Mr. Baxter, but you just ain't got it.
Amos, he's quite a kidder.
Yeah. Well, I think that's enough for one day. Besides, it's getting late, so goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Fred. Well, you see what you just did? You ruined whatever chance you had of me getting you into that lodge.
Now, ain't that just too bad? I gotta go through life without doing this.
Funny if you wanna, but you're gonna regret it, Amos McCoy. When you're sitting here all alone with no friends, and I'm at the lodge having a good time.
Well, if you're going to have such a good time at that lodge, why don't you just stay at that lodge and have a good time and quit coming over here?
Well, maybe it's a good idea. I've had my share. Goodbye.
Goodbye. And I'll thank you to send back half of them checkers. The red ones is mine.
Grandpa, I made some nice cool lemonade for you.
No, thanks. I don't care for none.
Oh, Grandpa, are you still brooding about George McMichael? I'm sorry, Grandpa. Just slipped out.
Well, you just slip it back again. I told you I didn't want to hear that name around this house. As far as I'm concerned, he ain't never been born.
Grandpa, ain't you being a mite stubborn? Been a week since you broke up with George McMichael, and you've been brooding about it ever since.
I ain't brooding about it. I'm happy.
Oh, I can tell you're miserable.
I ain't miserable. I'm happy.
You're miserable.
I'm happy. I'm smiling all the time, see?
Grandpa, can I say something?
No!
Well, it was not important.
Well, maybe it was. What was it you was going to say, Peppino?
Well, my Conchita and me, we fight all the time, but we always make up. That is the best part. Sometimes it is so much fun, we can hardly wait for the next fight. Come on, here. And the good times we have. Besito su papi, ándale.
Now, Peppino, you better just unpuck before you swallow a fly. Just remember this. A boy and a girlfriend ain't like no chucking and horseshoe friend. Because when one of them turn again you, why, there ain't no turning back.
Oh, George ain't turned again you. He just wants to get in that lodge, that Loyal Order of the Mystic Nile.
That's another name I never want to hear in this house. Bunch of grown men acting like a bunch of school kids. And what do? They parade and they dress up like monkeys, and then they hold these secret meetings and sit around and cackle at each other's jokes like a bunch of hens. And they make signs to make us different from somebody else. Call themselves sand fleas. Well, they ain't gonna make no sand flea out of me. I'll slug them first.
Hello, I'm Fred Baxter. You must be Mrs. McCoy.
Yes, I am. Won't you come in?
Well, thank you.
Have a seat.
No, thanks. I can only stay a minute.
I never expect to see you around here.
Oh? Well, I hope we'll be seeing a lot of each other from now on.
Huh?
Mr. McCoy, I guess you're wondering why I'm here. Well, sir, I came over to invite you to a meeting tonight of the Loyal Order of the Mystic Nile.
I can't understand you inviting me after the way I talked to you at the horseshoe game and all.
Well, I admit I was a bit put out. A prospective sand flea doesn't usually talk to his face that way. No, sirree, Bob. But then the boys at the lodge that put you up explain what kind of a fellow you are.
I guess there must be some mistake about putting me up, because I don't know none of them fellas at your lodge.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. You have a lot of friends in the Mystic Nile, Amos. For instance, there's Charlie Perkins. He thinks very highly of you, very highly.
Perkins, our mailman?
Mm-hmm. Then there's J.R. Poindexter down at the bank. J.R.'s quite a booster of yours.
Oh, you mean Mr. Poindexter's in the Mystic Nile, too?
In it? Great pyramids, boy. He's the pharaoh.
What do you know?
McCoy, we like you, and we want you in the lodge. Now, what do you say?
Wait till you hear. Grandpa, tell him what you said about the lodge.
Well, I think it's a fine lodge, and I'd be proud to come down to meet him.
Well said, brother, well said. Oh, but if you think you're proud now, wait till you march in our grand parade on June the 1st. That's Cleopatra's birthday, you know.
Do you want to know what Grandpa just said about parades?
Oh, I just love parades, and I want to thank you for inviting me to your meeting.
Oh, great. Well, suppose you meet me at the Nile Hall on Elm Street around 8:30. You meet me in the anteroom, and I'll take you into the membership committee. Oh, by the way, did you know the sign to get in the front door, the pyramid signal?
Oh, sure.
Well done. Well, I'll see you later, Amos.
Night, Mr. Baxter. Thank you.
Oh, Fred.
Fred.
Yeah, good night.
Good night, Mr. Baxter.
Bye.
George McMichael said I was going to be a lonely old man with no friends and nothing to do. Well, I can't wait to see his face when I walk into that meeting. Why, his jaw's going to sag like a kangaroo with a pouch full of triplets.
Well, it'll just be a moment. And a proud moment it should be for you, Amos. It isn't every day the Mystic Nile takes in a new sand flea.
I'm all choked up.
I know just how you feel. I'm not ashamed to admit that I cried when I was installed. But it'll be the thrill of your life. Yes, sirree, Jack.
Yeah, I guess it will. When I see that look on George McMichael's face when I go marching in there.
George McMichael, well, he wasn't accepted for membership.
He won't accept it?
I know he's your friend, but you yourself saw how he acted towards me. But we're not here to talk about George. Come on, let's go on.
Now, wait a minute.
Come on. The membership committee's waiting. Come
Wait a
on.
minute.
Almighty Pharaoh and sons of the Mystic Nile, behold your new brother, Sand Flea McCoy. Sand Flea McCoy, prepare yourself for the sacred oath. Face the east.
I can't.
It's over this way. You know where the Nile is. Now then, repeat after me.
I can't join your lodge.
You can't? Why?
No, I couldn't belong to no lodge that had turned down my good friend George McMichael. I don't say the way he tried to get in was the right way, but I do say he's only guilty of one thing, and that's wanting something an awful lot. And let me tell you something while I'm here. Any man that wants to get in that bad would make the best girl-turned member you ever had. If that's the kind of men you're turning down, why, I don't want to have nothing to do with none of you. Hello, Shorty.
Amos.
Well, where's the checkies?
Didn't put 'em out tonight, Amos.
Didn't put 'em out. It's Thursday night, man.
Yeah, I know, but,
Is there anything more important than our checky game?
That's right, Amos. Sit right down. Here, I'll get the checkboard.
Hope you got a good game under your belt tonight. Because I'm hot. I'm going to wallop you, you pint-sized apple knocker.
Yeah, you're gonna wallop ho, you dull-witted dirt farmer. The best of you... Amos?
Yeah?
Thanks. Thanks for coming over. I was feeling kind of low.
Want to carry that lodge?
You heard about it, huh?
I wouldn't shed no tears about that. 'Tain't worth it. Lodges is only for folks that wants more friends, and, well, us. Who needs it?
Yeah, we got each other.
And now stop your blubbering and start taking your beating.
Now, who could that be? I didn't expect no one.
Hello, George.
Hello, Fred.
May I come in?
Oh, sure.
I thought I'd find you here, Amos.
What's the matter, Fred? Your car break down or something?
No, I came over to talk to you, George. Well, I'll come right out with it. George, we want you in the Mystic Nile.
You want... Fred, I was turned down. What made you change your mind?
Well, well, the fact of the matter is, we had another vote, and this time it was unanimous. You were to be our newest sand flea. Yes, sirree, Jack.
Well, what do you know? Unanimous, huh? Fred, this is the best news I ever heard. Amos, did you... No, I couldn't take it, Fred.
Can't take it? Well, I don't get it.
Well, it's this way. You see, Amos, he's my best friend, and, well, we got so many things to do together. We got checkers, horseshoes, no, we ain't splitting up. Sorry.
Well, say, Maybe Amos would like to be in the Mystic Nile, too. That way you could still be together.
Both of us?
Sure, why not? 2 good members are better than 1.
What do you say, Amos?
I'm willing.
Me too.
Well, great, man. See you both at the next meeting. Good night. Good night, and glad to have you aboard.
Well, you see, you thought all my cowtown and my buttering up wouldn't pay off, eh? I told you if you'd stick with me, I'd get you into that lodge.
You get me into the lodge? Why, you... Well, George, I gotta hand it to you. You sure done it. No, George. You still ain't got it.